I'm feeling a little suspicious today. How are we doing? How's everyone doing today? Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2 of Cowfie-Mas. We are gonna be watching some funny videos today, but before we do, well, not funny, sorry, watching videos in general today. I have a whole list, and we also have a little video here by Super. We'll watch Super's video first, and then we'll get into our list I have. So I have a collection of videos. I haven't seen any of them, so I don't necessarily know if they're good or bad. We'll kind of judge as we watch, and we might skip a couple if they end up not being good. But I have some I tried to get a mixture of educational and fun. So for example, we have 25 animals you haven't heard of, mythical creatures that really existed. I teach you weird animal facts for 24 minutes. We also have, and then I slipped in a little Bigfoot video. I've never seen this Bigfoot video, but for those of you who don't know, I am actually obsessed with Bigfoot. I love watching Bigfoot content. I think it's great, so I thought that'd be funny to put in today's video catalog. But we have a bunch of videos to watch, so that'll keep us entertained for the evening. But I just thought before we get to it, we'll just chill out, relax, have a little chit chat. It's been a while since, well, it's been 2 days. Honestly, the busiest 2 days I've had in a while. But it's been good though. Sorry, I'm adjusting in my chair. It's been good though. It really has been good. Sorry, I don't know if I should make another post. Hold on. Bear with me. There we go. Got that one done and dusted. And then in the Discord, it's a little hard in the Discord server now that I don't have a live alert. But oh well, people will come in, I guess. People will make it. So I had a busy 2 days. Yesterday I was at my nan's house. I have started cleaning her house for her, not just cleaning her house, but anything she needs done, I've been helping. So yesterday I washed both her dogs, and they were so cute because they hate having baths, but they knew, they don't fight it though, they just hate it. They're not allowed inside, so I had to bathe them outside, and they heard me. I was filling up buckets with warm water, and they heard me when I went outside. They were like, when dogs, kind of like how my model is now, when dogs do that with their ears and then they crawl along the ground. They were both trying to hide, and I was like, come on, it's alright. And I grabbed I had the first dog, and the look on his face, he was like, I'll see if I can find a picture online of literally how his face looked. It was literally, okay, here we go. Hold on. You see that black dog? That was his face. He was so mad. He was not happy with me, but I was like, after I gave them their bath and stuff, they were so happy, and they're nice and clean now, so that's what matters. So I cleaned her house, and then she gave me a list. So there was she wanted me to do the kitchen, the bathroom, mopping, vacuuming, some yard work, or it was just kind of pick what you think you can get done. So I washed the dogs, I cleaned her bathroom, her kitchen, which took me longer than I expected, because You know, it was one of those things where I did the bathroom first, and I'm glad I did, because that took me the longest. Because you know when you're cleaning or you're doing anything, and then you're like, you see something else and you're like, oh, well, I'll do that. And then as you're doing nothing, you see something else and you're like, oh, I'll do that. That was how I was cleaning. I was like cleaning, like, what's an example? Like, I was cleaning the, there's like these really tiny gaps. Like her bathroom is really weird. It's tiny. It's like a square. I'll see it here. Let me bring up Canva and I'll draw it so I can show you, because it's hard to explain. She has a very tiny bathroom, so and it took me, even she came up to me and she's like, this is taking you a long time. She's like, it doesn't normally take me this long when I clean the bathroom. But here, let me do this. So alrighty, I'll get the pen and then I'll make it big, so I'll draw over here. So so her bathroom is basically a square, right? You've got the door here. Door probably comes to like it's very tiny, so the door's probably like this. The sink is here. There's like a basin, and then the shower, and then here is like a towel rack, and then a towel rack. So there's no space, right? Literally all you have space to do is walk in, have a shower, dry off, and get out. And there's like a little sink here. But as you can see here, there's these like tiny gaps. Like my arm barely fits down these gaps between, like, I don't know why they didn't just make it flush with the wall, but there's these tiny gaps. So while I was cleaning, the door here is like a sliding door. So I was cleaning the bathroom door, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I should probably go down here and clean down these sides. So I'm cleaning down these sides, and I'm like trying to wipe the wall, like the side of the basin, and I'm trying to wash the back of the wall, and it was just like, no toilet. Toilets in Australia are like in a separate room. But yeah, it was like, what was the thing? It was just like, I was like cleaning down here, and I'm like, oh, I'll clean the wall here. Oh, I'll clean over here. And then like I started wiping the front, the doors of the basin, and then I'm like, oh, I'll wipe all the shelves out. So then I took everything out of the cupboard and I started wiping down the shelves, and it was just like one thing after the other. Like I just kept cleaning. But yeah, I cleaned her house. I was there till 2, and then what did I do when I got home? Hi Funboy, welcome in. I was there till about 2. Then I went to the shops. I got myself a little snack. I got myself a banoffee pie, which was yum. And then I ended up doing some editing, because I'm still taking editing commissions. So I have an editing commission that I've been working on, and I'm loving what I've been editing. It's been so good. I'm gonna probably send them to the person, because their commission is big. They wanted me to scrub 2 VODs and then edit 10 shorts. So I've already done 3, so I have 7 more to do. Today was technically my day off, but I did edit 1 today too, just to get ahead. But it's not due until the 11th, so I still have a couple days. But so I edited VODs, and then I played Planet Zoo. I did play Planet Zoo. If you were not here for the Planet Zoo stream, we ended on a kerfuffle. We were in the negatives and losing money rapidly. And when I ended stream that day, Tuesday, I was thinking to myself, I was like, how are we gonna come back from this? What's that meme? I'm never gonna financially recover. That's how I was feeling. I was like, how am I gonna bring this back? Like, I don't want to lose my zoo. How are we gonna do this? So I decided to play and do it off stream, because I didn't want to like get too crazy on stream, and I fixed it. And believe it or not, we're currently at 200k in the bank, and increasing profits. The zoo is booming right now. I did get more animals, but nothing crazy, because I was waiting to do that on stream. So, my headset just turned off. Hi Anton. So basically, with the zoo Planet Zoo, oh my gosh, with the Planet Zoo stream, recover what happened from Planet Zoo, recovering from Planet Zoo. So with that stream, on that stream we got as for animals. So just to recap, so I can explain what new animals I brought in. So we had 3 exhibits. We had the bison, we had the Nyala, the antelopes, and that was it. I saw you playing Planet. No, that wasn't. I'll tell you what I did. So we had the Nyala, the antelopes, and the bison. So initially we had the Nyala in that small area, and then we made the big area, and then we made the big area. So we had an enclosure. Oh, I don't know if I did this on stream. I can't remember because I've been playing quite a bit of Planet Zoo. But basically, we had that little area, and then I made the bigger area. And so what I've done is that, so you got the bison on the left that had the middle habitat, and then the right habitat, which was tiny. So that big middle habitat I split in 2. So one side is the antelopes and one side is the Nyala. And then we had an empty habitat. What I've done is I've turned that empty habitat into I turned it into a peacock and tortoise habitat. So peacocks and tortoises are together in that habitat. And then I ended up making a bunch of exhibits, and I've made a whole exhibit area. So basically what I was doing off stream was just kind of like cosmetics. I was just making it look nice. I was trying to make proper areas and making things look good. The way that I recovered, because for those of you who weren't there, we were in the negatives and I kept taking out loans and we were still in the negatives and I wasn't sure why. Oh, I also reworked the work zones, and I think I understand them now. So I have a work zone for every employee. So we have a work zone for the keepers, work zone for the cleaners, I googled it. I googled I'm losing money on Planet Zoo, how do I recover? And oh wait, before I continue my story, I just had a thought. Thank you, Zach, I appreciate that. Yeah, so we had I just googled I'm losing money on Planet Zoo, how do I recover? And a lot of them said look at your finances and where all the money's going. And people said it's most of the money goes to my employees, which was true. Most of my money was going to my employees. And okay, cool. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up firing a bunch of people. I then went around and looked at all the stands, and if they weren't making me profit, I just removed them. So a lot of the food stalls, because I added a lot, so I got rid of a bunch of vending machines, and I got rid of a bunch of food stalls. And then I also added a shit ton of donation bins, because I didn't want it to be overpopulated, but I just realized that it's a game, so it doesn't matter. So I added a bunch of donation bins, and then someone also said on Reddit that you should charge for your toilet. And I was already charging for the ATM, but you can charge for the toilet. So they just charge $1 to use a toilet. So I was charging people to use the toilet $1 if you use the ATM. I increased my ticket prices, and then I realized as well, you can increase the prices of everything, of the food, of the souvenirs. So I jacked up I didn't jack them up, but I $1 or $2. I added a couple dollars to all of my items. So everything just increased in price, and that literally saved me. To be honest, that saved me. And then I just started getting the money just started flowing in, and I really don't know necessarily how, but and then I also cut people's wages because I realized you can change their wages, but I only did it when you change their wages. If you go too low, it gives you a thumbs down. So I did it low enough I did it the lowest I could before it gave me the thumbs down. So I just cut everybody's wages. So I was like, paying them less, but I'm gonna change it soon because I've been leveling people up, and then I also had to. I didn't realize you could change the food that you feed your animals, because my tortoises and peacocks were like, we don't like this food. This food is yucky. And so it was like, you have to change your food grade. So I had to increase the food, which cost more money. But now that we are getting a lot of money, I think it's worth it. Did you ask Google why people were getting mad about the tickets? No, I didn't. But I've increased the prices and no one's complained. I think I'm charging like $20 a ticket now. So I'm charging a lot for the tickets. And because initially I think I was like 8 to 8. And now we're open 7 to 9, so we're open an extra 2 hours too. So that ended up helping me get a bunch of money. But yeah, I was waiting to go live again to play it, because I want to build our first like carnivore enclosure. I'm thinking like a bear. Oh, and I wanted to test if we could have buffaloes with the bison. But I'm really worried because every animal has a fucking like gender issue. And I'm worried because I know when we had the antelopes and the Nyala together, even when there was 2 males of different breeds, different species, they would get mad. So I don't know I'm not sure if bison and buffaloes can be together, but I wanted to give it a go and just see, because the bison enclosure it's massive. It's really massive. And the herd has dwindled quite a bit since I was live. And people keep complaining that they can't see the bison. Like, they're like, oh, there's not a good view of the bison. We can't see the bison. So I was like, maybe I'll put more animals in there, and that might make it feel a bit better. But we'll see. And then today, also, guys, you're more than welcome to tell me about your day. I would love to know about how your days have been. Today, I also had a really busy day. Today was really hot, hence why I'm live a little bit later than usual. But today was really warm, but I had a really productive day. I woke up and I got into editing. I edited that one clip that I told you guys about, and then I played Planet Zoo for like 4 hours. I played Planet Zoo for so long. It was probably like 2 hours, to be honest. It was about 2 hours. But because I was editing, right? And because today's technically not even a stream day. It's only a stream day because of Cowfie-Mas. So like today is Mondays and Thursdays are the days I don't do anything. I don't do streaming stuff. I don't do editing. Like, those are the days where I just like chill out and relax. But it's funny that I say that because today was just so busy. But I was editing, right? And then in the morning, I was editing, and then I ended up just getting really sidetracked, but in a good way, because I heard my fish tank making a weird noise, and I went over to the fish tank, and one of the fish was stuck, so thank goodness I went to look, but he was like stuck near the heater. And then I was like, maybe the water's too low, so I gave the fish a water change, and I fed them some bloodworms, and I was like, oh, you know what, like, I'm feeding the fish bloodworms, I should check on the dogs, because it's hot. So I gave the dogs some frozen banana, and then I made a bunch of ice cubes and have those in the freezer freezing, so I can put ice cubes in their water so that to make sure they have nice cold water. And then I ended up writing a shopping list, because I've been trying to meal prep, and I did this really silly thing, but it's really fun. It's like, I wrote like I bought these containers from the thrift store, which are basically just like sandwich boxes with like little sections, right? And they were like a pack of 5, like together, and I bought them from the thrift store because I've been wanting to meal plan. And I did this fun little thing where I wrote a bunch of stuff on sticky notes, because here's the thing, right? I get like, I don't know what the right phrase is, but like, when it comes to cooking and eating, I'm very plain and simple and boring, and a lot of the time I just don't care. Like, I have an idea and I go to make it, but then I'm like, oh, like, I don't really want it. Like, I don't really want to eat this. Like, I don't really like this. Da 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 da. So it can be hard for me to like take initiative to actually like cook a nice meal, because sometimes I just feel weird about food sometimes. It's really hard to explain. So I did this fun little idea, and we're gonna next week will be the week that I test it out. But I got a bunch of sticky notes and I wrote a bunch of drinks, snacks, and meals, and I put it in a lucky dip. And in each container represents one day. And I would pick out a bunch of these sticky notes that were like folded up, put them in the container, and that's what I would have for the day. So I allowed myself 2 snacks, 3 flavored drinks, because if you know me, you know that I'm always drinking something flavored. I'm never drinking water, and I need to increase my water intake. So it's so funny to say I'm restricting myself to 3 flavored drinks, because there are probably so many people out there that don't even have 3 flavored drinks. But they're like all different, right? So it's like, and I think it'll be good for me, because it's like, for example, like for the drinks, it might be like, I like a sweet coffee, so it might be like, have, like one of the drinks might be, you're allowed a coffee with 2 sugars, and then the next one might be a coffee with soy milk. So it's like, okay, do I want to have a coffee and have soy milk in it? Or am I going to pass it up? Like, because don't get me wrong, I like soy milk, but I also sometimes I just don't want to drink soy milk. So it's things like that. And then like then I allowed myself 3 drinks, 2 snacks, and then obviously 3 meals a day. And they were a bunch of healthy snacks, and then if they were, or healthy foods, and if it was anything unhealthy, then it was like specified, like 1 serving of this, like you can only have like this one time, and that way like I kind of have my day planned out more. So I did that the other day, and then I looked in the fridge, and I've been meaning to make some soup for like over a week now, and the vegetables that I bought for the soup are looking really sad, and I don't think they're gonna make it to the weekend. So I am gonna do my grocery shopping tomorrow. So I went through my containers and opened them all up to see what I had pulled out, like a lucky dip, and it was really, really fun actually, and I'm excited to like go grocery shopping and meal plan everything for next week, so that'll be really good. So I ended up doing that, and then what else did I do? I did a bit of cooking to prep food for tomorrow. Unintentionally, I was cooking rice today because I wanted to make sushi, but as I was cooking it, I just had this like feeling, well, because the rice was going to be hot and I wanted it to be cold, but I was hungry right then. So I was like, oh, I'll cook the rice and have sushi tomorrow. So I cooked too much rice. So I'm going to have sushi. I'm going to have some of the rice next week. I've put it in the freezer, so it'll be okay for next week. And, yeah. So it's like I cooked some food unintentionally, prepped it for tomorrow. I ended up like doing I like doing this thing with the dogs, where you like throw treats or food out, for them to like sniff and find, especially for my dog because she's blind, so it's kind of good for her. But I had this veggie patty that was like about to go bad, and I knew I wasn't going to eat it in time, so I just broke it up and threw it around the yard, and she gobbled it up like a good little girl. And then what else did I do? I did go for a walk. I walked my dog, but it was literally like it barely probably wasn't even 10 minutes, because like I said, it was really hot today. And halfway through, I just felt like she was getting really tired, and I didn't want her to, because she is an old dog, I didn't want to push her, so we only went a little bit, and then we headed home. So did a little walk with her. She had a nice little walk, and I don't know, yeah, it was just like, I was just fluffing about doing random stuff. I reorganized the dreaded containers cupboard. Does everybody here also have a container cupboard where you just throw them in? You know those memes where they just throw the container into the cupboard? Here, I'll play a video. That was our cupboard. We've tried to organize it in the past. Wait, container cupboard video. Mean. Here we go. I think this will be it. Hold on. This one here. Oh, my big fat head's in the way. Oh, my headset's freaking. Oh my god. The freaking browser. The browser's muted and my headset just turned off. Hold on a second. Headset paired. So everybody has that cupboard, right? Well, I reorganized. I used to have, my mom gave me this container because, look, I am basically a renter in my mom's house, so I don't have a lot of space. And there's this area of the cupboard where like it's dedicated to all my stuff. And initially I had she gave me this container to like put all my stuff in, or like this basket. But I decided that the basket was taking up more space than it was worth, and so I used it to reorganize the container cupboard. And we recently did something that was kind of helping, where like you put all your lids. Like, you just put all the lids in one container, so there's a container for lids, and it kind of like helps keep it a bit more organized, and then you just hopefully stack all your containers. So we've been doing that for a bit, but obviously it hasn't been working. But I totally reorganized our chaotic container cupboard, which was worth doing because it was messy. And there's also, like, you know, there's so many containers. I feel like we always have too many containers, like, more than we need. Because there was so many containers in there that I totally forgot we had, and I've never seen my mom use, ever. So, yeah. But I think that's enough chit-chatting. Sorry for talking your ear off. Thank you for listening to me about my 2 days. I hope you all had a great week as well. We're going to get into the videos and just relax here. I'm trying to get into a comfy position, but I've been getting really stiff. I'm not going to lie. I think I need to start stretching or something because my legs have just been really sore. Like, nothing feels comfy when I'm sitting at my desk. I feel like I need to, like, start standing or something, but my knees, because I'm always sitting with my knees bent or cross-legged all the time, my knees in particular have been just like, ugh. I feel like, when I get off my chair after streaming, I'm literally waddling like an old lady. I'm like, oh god, I'm so stiff. But let's get this party started. Alright, first up is the video recommended to us by Super. I didn't do anything but play Weatherman Meets today. Oh yeah, I've heard good stuff about that tang. Alrighty, let's play. I'll turn it up a little bit.
The Asado Desert, dry and barren. Some call this place home, from high up in the sky to those just beneath the sand. But not all find this arid place hospitable.
What is it?
DAY2
Wow!
on their annual migration towards land with a more temperate
They're so
climate.
cute.
Unlike other birds, DAY2 rely mainly on their strong, developed legs to run great distances, reserving their ability to fly for only times of dire need. Despite their impressive legs, traveling across the
Look at them
vast
run, they're on a
deserts is
mission.
no easy feat. A young DAY2 can often wander too far too quickly, separating themselves from the flock.
That reminded me of a video. While I was trying to make this playlist, there was this 1 minute video that was like in the search. That was someone's trail cam that caught a baby deer getting eaten by a bear, and I watched it and it was so sad because the mum was there, and then the mum ran, and it was only a baby cub, but the cub found the fawn and then ate it. And then I read the comments, and apparently the idea is that, because the baby just laid down, apparently the idea is that the baby lays down to hide and to blend in with the environment, and then the mum runs to, like, take, the idea is that the mum runs so that the bear chases the mum and the baby just lays down to blend in with the environment. But people were saying that the mum ran the wrong way, because she ran past the baby, so when the bear was running towards where the mum was, it obviously would have seen the baby, and then it ate the baby, and the sound it made was so sad. I was like, there's no way I can put this in the video, in the stream. This is awful. It was so sad. Because I wanted to see, because I didn't understand what happened, and I was like, no way the mum would have just ditched the baby. But yeah, apparently it's supposed to be like a diversion. The baby just quickly lays down, and the mum is supposed to be the diversion for the bear, so the baby can stay safe. But didn't work this time. No, it's a baby. Oh, why is his head flopped over? Is he dead?
Something in the distance has caught his attention.
Or is he sleeping?
Perhaps a patch of greenery?
Why is one flopped over?
It looks like curiosity has gotten the better of him. The other head, still resting from the long
it's
journey,
sleeping. Oh, God.
is along for the ride.
I thought it was dead.
After days of eating nothing but dry grass, any chance to change his diet is highly tempting.
What is that?
It's just a group of cacnea.
Oh.
They aren't worth the trouble.
Oh.
Now awake from his slumber, the other head realizes that they're no longer with the flock. Unsurprisingly, he's quite frustrated. But a lone DAY2 has caught the attention of others. Sandile specialize in ambush tactics and eat almost anything that collapses in the desert. Still, there's not much food to scavenge in these parts. Desperate for a meal, a single DAY2 would be a feast to relish. He knows there is little chance to bring down such large prey on his own.
Oh, he's
After
so
all,
cute.
DAY2's kick and exceptional speed make them a difficult target for any predator. However, he doesn't need to hunt alone.
Oh my God.
With the element of surprise, the two of them together might stand a chance.
That's so
The DAY2
funny.
so far is unaware of any danger. By submerging themselves in sand, they have set up a very effective ambush site, but they still
It's so serious.
With two heads, DAY2 are keenly aware of any potential threats. The Sandile duo remains still, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Whoa!
With a leg
They're so
injured,
little.
the DAY2 can no longer flee on foot. But he has one last resort.
That's how they fly? That's fucking ridiculous. That's so stupid. Oh. No!
Now free from the deadly
Why is it making
encounter,
a
he
helicopter
lets out a
sound?
well-deserved victory cry.
Demonic screeching. Oh my God, that's so funny. That was good. good. Thanks, Super. That was so silly. I loved it though. I loved it. Alright, here's our list here. As you can see, we've got a lot of videos. Like I said, I does say I've seen it, but I haven't. I haven't seen any of these, so I can't say if they're good or not. So we'll find out together.
Let's imagine you're lost in the Antarctic Ocean, and you make the mistake of looking down into the water below you. You might think all you'd see are tiny fish or clouds of microscopic plankton, but what you actually find is much more terrifying. Spiders with leg spans longer than dogs are crawling around on the seafloor. Jellyfish with tentacles longer than whales are slowly drifting by. And even the most normal looking fish are now just abnormally gigantic.
Ew.
And yes, these guys are all real.
As the freezing cold environment here has let evolution just go completely off the rails. This is the world of polar gigantism, a phenomenon that most people are totally unaware of, because it only happens in the coldest oceans on Earth. And you'd think in a place where everything's freezing and there's barely any food to survive, that most animals
Someone made
would
a
get
whole lot
smaller
of those
and smaller
Pokemon
to
vids of
conserve
different
energy.
Pokemon, but I think
the
that one
complete
was
opposite
great.
happens. All animals in this region turn into a sort of supersized variant of themselves.
Have you seen the Spiel one yet? I don't know what that is. If you're talking about Pokemon, I don't know Pokemon. That was a video recommended by Super.
Making small things big and big things huge. So why is this effect even happening in the first place? To understand polar gigantism, let's take a look at the most blatant example of it, the colossal squid.
Yeah.
And I know what you're thinking, because most people think that the colossal squid is a case of deep-sea gigantism, but it's actually not. Colossal squids are found almost exclusively in the ocean surrounding Antarctica, and swim in waters close to or even less than 0 degrees Celsius. Because of the salinity, the water won't actually freeze at 0 degrees, but regardless, this is still insanely cold. And so, the squids had to adapt. See, colossal squids are actually a type of glass squid, which is a family named after a bunch of translucent squids that look like, well, glass. So why do colossal squids look like anything but a glass squid? Well, this is the polar gigantism taking effect. In an environment this cold, being see-through isn't that useful. The colossal squid's body traded transparency for thick flesh that's much better for insulation, but it didn't actually give up stealth either. Their bodies have a reddish skin color, which will absorb any possible light from any bioluminescent
everything
prey
becomes
instead of
crab.
reflecting it, which means you'll never see it coming. When you're this big, you don't really have any predators, besides the occasional sperm whale, so your body ends up being designed for sneaking up, rather than sneaking away. But that still doesn't answer why the colossal squids are this huge in the first place. And the answer isn't in the food down there, but instead in the water itself. Cold water holds way more oxygen than warm water does, and for basically all animals, the larger the body, the more oxygen their cells need to just stay alive. In warm waters, there just isn't enough oxygen in the water to support super large creatures. But when you live at 0 degrees, there's unlimited oxygen. And because oxygen is everywhere, their limiter is broken. Over millions of years, this pushed the glass squids into giants, or should I say colossals. And because they then became so big, they literally left behind their glassiness at the same time. And since larger bodies are better at storing heat and energy, evolution literally forced these squids to get bigger and bigger, or die.
Whoa,
but giant
really?
squids don't live in the polar oceans, so
Damn.
how did they get so big?
And that's like
See,
probably a
the deep-sea
baby. I can't
gigantism
imagine
effect
that's an
does
adult.
have some relevance here, and this is why giant squids are so giant. Colossal squids, on the other hand, live even deeper than giant squids, so the deep-sea gigantism also plays a bit of a role. But they didn't get so big solely because of the deep, and most of it is because of the cold. Colossal squids are actually a rare case of double crossover gigantism, combining both polar and deep-sea gigantism into making one really big creature. And this is likely why colossals are the largest invertebrates on Earth. And while not technically longer than the giant squid, they are much heavier, being over 1,000 pounds, which is double the weight of a giant squid.
Wow.
But this is just one case of polar gigantism. It doesn't necessarily prove that cold water is creating giants.
But take a look at this guy. This is a normal sea spider that's found in a coral reef. These guys aren't actually real spiders since they're pink nogginids, but these sea spiders are about 1 to 2 centimeters across. This is about the same size as your normal house spider, but find the same animal in the Antarctic Ocean and it looks like this. This spider is over 2 feet across and is the exact same family as the other tiny spider I just showed you. So what's going on here? Well, the exact same rules that
I almost want
blast
to try and
squids
suggest a
into
video, but it's a
colossals
little not
have
safe for work,
forced
and I
these
don't
spiders to
know
grow
how
bigger.
kosher
Cold
that's
water means
why.
more oxygen,
What's it
and these
about?
guys literally breathe through their legs. You can already see how freakishly long they are, so that basically means a ton of oxygen
Oh, it
is
gives
coming
me
in. But what can they do
goosebumps.
now that they're so big? Well, unlike crabs or lobsters, giant sea spiders aren't brawlers, but they are predators. They creep across the seafloor on those massive legs, using them almost like stilts to step over sponges, corals, and starfish. They then often use their long proboscis like a straw, piercing something like a starfish and then sucking out its insides like a milkshake. But again, this is the Antarctic Ocean, so the starfish are also ginormous. I know what you're thinking, that barely looked like a starfish, but this is a real starfish, just this one has over 50 arms instead of the normal 5. Antarctic starfish are on another level of freaky, because they didn't just grow larger, but also evolution literally started stacking on as many arms as it felt like. Most normal starfish are actually predators too, and will eat the insides of things like clams. But Antarctic starfish are so brutal, they'll literally eat other starfish as well. Whoever has the most arms wins, I guess. Antarctic starfish can also live over 40 years on average, which is way longer than the 5-year lifespan that warm water starfish have. And yes, this is polar gigantism at play that forced these cute creatures to develop into gigantic freaks. Funny enough, the effect of polar gigantism is so powerful that it's also created the longest animal on Earth, the lion's mane jellyfish. Compare this length to a blue whale, and you can see the lion's mane is notably longer. Of course, the blue whale has more mass, but this still goes to show the sheer scale of polar gigantism. Because if you compare a jellyfish in the same genus as a lion's mane, like the blue jellyfish, you can see just how much smaller they are. Blue jellies live in warm water, and because of that, were never forced to become massive. So, after seeing all these
Imagine a
oversized
massive
monsters of
blue
the deep,
jellyfish.
you're probably wondering
Someone's
how high
animation
oxygen
project from
alone
like
could allow
17
these
odd years
things to go
ago.
off.
It's basically a Magical Girl transformation scene with some oddly comedy elements. I mean, you can link it in the Discord. Today, though, we're just watching animal videos. Because for the charity. So, but, I can save it for another time and watch it in another stream.
The rails.
That
and
isn't
while that is a large
for the
part of the
charity.
reason, it's not
Check
the
it
full
out.
answer.
Depends how weird it
Because
is.
the water is so cold, metabolism also slows down massively, and so much so that large bodies actually become more efficient. They burn less energy per raw animal mass. On top of this, the cold ocean is actually extremely stable, which I know is weird because I just showed you a bunch of the giant monsters it has. But the temperature barely changes here, the pressure is constant, and predators are rare. There's nothing forcing these animals to stay small and fast. They can afford to be massive, slow, and built like tanks, exactly like how the colossal squid developed its strategy. But you're probably wondering, if the cold makes things bigger, then a polar bear's a case of polar gigantism, since they're way bigger than normal bears. Or penguins, since to be fair, they're way larger than normal birds. The thing is, polar gigantism only works for cold-blooded animals, which are creatures that let the environment control their body temperature and get their oxygen directly from the water. For them, colder water means more oxygen, slower metabolism, and zero energy wasted on generating heat. Warm-blooded animals, though, are stuck with a different problem. They have to burn energy constantly just to stay warm, no matter how cold the water or air gets. The bigger they get, the more calories they need. And in the polar region, there simply isn't enough food to support something that massive. Every extra pound of body mass comes with a huge metabolic cost. So even if they're not necessarily gigantic, why are they still big? This has to do with something called Bergmann's Rule. Bergmann Rules says that in all climates, warm-blooded animals do get bigger, but not because of oxygen. It's because larger bodies lose heat slower. That's why polar bears are way bigger than other bears, and emperor penguins dwarf tropical birds. The extra body mass helps them hold on to warmth longer, like having
He's
a
got a
built-in
pimple.
insulation. But there's a limit. Being
Poor little guy.
warm-blooded means you're constantly burning energy to stay alive, so getting too big becomes a massive liability. The bigger you are, the more food you need, and in the polar regions, food is already scarce. This is the same reason woolly mammoths got so big, but never totally out of control. So while Bergman's rule gives you bulk for warmth, it never lets you go full colossal squid mode that polar gigantism gives. On a much smaller scale, even plankton have their colossal versions. Antarctic copepods are basically the polar's gigantism version of plankton, and are nearly 10 times heavier than tropical copepods. For reference, most copepods are so small you can barely see them without a microscope, since they're usually not even a millimeter. Antarctic copepods can reach up to a centimeter long, big enough that you could actually see swimming with the naked eye. This
Yeah.
obviously isn't really monstrous like colossal squids
But
are,
in
but in the
comparison.
eyes of plankton, these things are absolute behemoths. But here's the weirdest part. Not everything in the polar oceans got the gigantism effect. A select few animals actually got the complete opposite, from an effect called polar dwarfism. While this is extremely rare, and the majority of animals got the gigantism effect, some Antarctic fish species, like certain ice fish and snailfish, are noticeably smaller than their relatives in warmer waters. In these
Interesting.
extreme environments, food isn't always available year-round. So evolving a smaller body means they can reach adulthood faster, reproduce sooner, and survive longer periods of scarcity. When food
Right.
is only available for a few months out of the year, staying small can literally be the difference between life and death, and having a much faster reproduction cycle will ensure your species survived. Not really as sick as turning into a giant sea monster, but still an interesting way evolution made them develop. But a weird side effect of the cold is that it doesn't just change what evolves, it changes how fast evolution itself occurs. In the polar ocean, everything runs in slow motion, which means chemical reactions slow, along with metabolism and reproduction. A single generation of some Antarctic animals can take decades to complete, since, as I mentioned, even starfish are now surviving decades instead of just a few years. This makes evolution take much longer, and it already takes millions of years. Many of these species are basically living fossils, almost identical to their ancestors that swam under the Antarctic ice tens of millions of years ago. Some sea spiders, urchins, and fish lineages have barely changed since before humans even existed. With no drastic seasons in the Antarctic, species here have stayed practically frozen in time for millions of years. The environment barely changes, so evolution never needed to either. Every creature here is fine-tuned for a world that's stable, predictable, and cold, which has worked flawlessly for millions of years, literally. But that stability is exactly what makes the Antarctic so fragile. When your entire ecosystem depends on everything staying the same, even a small shift can break it. The moment the environment starts to change, the rules that built these giants start to collapse. Because being a super mega frost giant sounds really awesome until it suddenly isn't. Polar giants have one massive weakness, and it's that they're all built for stability, not change. Their entire existence depends on water that stays freezing, dense, and packed with oxygen. Take that away and the whole system collapses. Warmer water holds less oxygen, metabolism speeds up, and suddenly those massive bodies becoming a liability. The animals that once ruled the frozen deep start suffocating in their own size. Bring any of these monsters into a fun, friendly tropical ocean, and they will literally die from the sunshine. This is already happening too. As the oceans warm, oxygen levels are dropping fast, and the creatures that evolved to thrive in the cold are running out of room to survive. Studies have shown that sea spider maximum sizes are actually dropping in areas where the water is getting slightly warmer. And although they're much harder to study, this means that eventually colossal squids could become uncolossal, or just die altogether. And while I would never actually want to encounter one of these giant monsters face to face, it's kinda sad to think about. These creatures are living relics from a different world, and regardless, they're basically zero threat to us anyways. Total human deaths from colossal squids is 0, because no one's ever been attacked by one. But anyways, the effect that cold has on evolution is perhaps one of the strangest and most unexpected
climate
reasons
change
for
for ya.
gigantism. Freeze the ocean and life won't die. It just gets giant. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see a video about the world's deadliest jellyfish, check it out here. The most dangerous one isn't actually the lion's mane.
God, this is gonna make me... Do you know what? I was having a vision. I was having a vision while I was watching that. This sounds so random, but I'm gonna tell you guys my idea because I think I might write about it, but I guess look, I feel a lot when I see videos and pictures of fish being fished out of the water. They're like all those pictures of those squid being in nets, and I don't know, something about it just makes me feel icky. And it's like the ocean, like the planet is majority water. There are so many animals out there, massive animals just living their life, and like the planet is decreasing, like is losing a lot of its life because of human input. And I was thinking about the orcas while we were watching this, all the stuff that have happened to the orcas, and people just don't care. And I just like had this vision. I was like, what if there was a movie or some type of media that showcased what's happening to the orcas, but from the perspective of humans? So instead of it being the animal, it is like it's the animal's story told through a human. Because I feel like if it was done that way, people would be so much more inclined to make a change, because they can relate to they can relate to it. It's a human being that, you know, I'm also a human being. I can relate to being a human being, whereas like people can't relate to being orcas. They don't understand. Some people don't care. So I just think that would be so fascinating, because there has been a lot of traumatic stuff that has happened to orcas in the like past 70 years that they've been that we've been capturing them. That would be worth creating. I think that would be impactful, but it would be dark. That's the only thing, and people wouldn't want to watch it, and they'd probably think it's too intense, but that's the reality, because that's happened to the animals, you know. Alright, this one is 25 animals you haven't heard of, maybe. Part 1, Oceania and Eurasia. So Australia is Oceania, so let's see what it has to say about good old Aussie land.
Just over a month ago, I asked you guys a question on the community page. What's an animal that you think not enough people know exists? With over 200 responses, I managed to compile a list of 50 remarkable animals that you guys think not enough people know about. In this video, I'll introduce you to 25 of these lesser known species from Oceania and Eurasia.
I know this one!
And in next week's video...
And let's see which ones we know. Let's go together. Alright. Tapir. This is like a peacock spider. A echidna? Come on now. People know about the fucking... There are people out there that don't know about echidnas. Is that what you're telling me? Let's see. That's an armadillo. The black cockatoo? What? Is this like the Mitchell's hopping mice? Maybe. Any picture to Vic? Honestly, anywhere. General chat is fine. I think there's a suggestions channel. You can place them in there as well. This is some sort of like a buffalo. This is an axolotl, but his face is really long. I don't know what's happening there. Alright, let's see. The thing is I do recognize these animals, but I don't know their names. So we'll see what they say.
And in next week's video, we'll take a closer look at 25 more from Africa, the Americas, and the world's oceans. So let's see how many of these animals are new to you. We'll start in a part of the world that has some of the most unique fauna, Oceania.
Yay,
New Zealand
that's me.
has been so isolated from
Porcupine?
other land masses for so
I was an
long
echidna.
that the only land mammals that made it there were bats. Birds filled the majority of the other ecological niches on the islands, And one of the most interesting species of bird from New Zealand is a huge green parrot known as the kakapo.
Wow. I
parrots
actually
are
have never seen
flightless,
this before.
Nocturnal, breed using
Flightless.
a communal nest known as a lek, and are the heaviest species of parrot in the world. While
Wow.
many nature
Oh, he's cute.
enthusiasts know about this species,
I
their
like him.
extreme rarity means that many more casual nature observers know nothing about these amazing birds. New Zealand also has one of the most unique species of reptile in the world. They look like some sort of lizard, but the tuatara is actually placed in its own order. Their teeth are fused to their jaws. They have a third eye on top of their heads. They're adapted to live in relatively cold weather, and they can live to be over 100 years old.
So they're dragons.
Meanwhile, over in Australia, the land is dominated by marsupials, the diversity of which is far greater than
Look at that
most
poor
people
kangaroo. Look at
realize.
that Joey. He's like
There are
bent
many
backwards.
species of kangaroo and wallaby that most people don't know about, but there are also whole other
Oh, it's a
families of marsupials
wallaby.
that most people have never heard of.
I love wallabies.
Numbats are small,
Oh,
striped,
yeah.
termite-eating
I do know
marsupials,
about
found
numbat. There's
primarily
like a
in the
kid's story to
southwest
do
of
with
the country.
numbats.
Unlike some other marsupials, their young cling to the mother's fur as she carries them around. One of the more famous Australian mammals is the platypus. This animal is famous for its unique set of features, including its ability to lay eggs. Egg-laying mammals are called monotremes, but while the platypus is well known, the other 4 species of monotreme are commonly
Look at that
overlooked.
echidna.
Echidnas
Look
look
at
like
him.
hedgehogs or porcupines,
He's
being
so
covered
little.
in spines, having large claws for digging, and a long snout. Mainland Australia is home to 1 species, while the island of New Guinea is home to 3 more. A famous Australian bird is the cockatoo,
Yep.
but most don't realize
You know
that
what's so
there are
funny?
over 20
It's called a cockatoo. My fiance calls them cockheads. He calls them cockheads. He's like, oh, they're the cockheads, and they make a really loud, obnoxious noise, and it's like a joke. Like I think every country probably does this. I'm sure Americans do this over there too. But like when you see something and you're like, see something funny, and you're like, oh, that's you, you know. Like so one thing my mom will do if we drive past a bunch of cockatoos, she'll be like, oh, they're your friends. There's your friends over there. Go say hello to your friends. For they're just the loudest birds ever.
many species in Australasia, and some of them, instead of being white, are mostly black,
Yeah.
like the palm cockatoo, which is all
Yeah.
black except for its bright pink or red cheek patches. These cockatoos have the unique behavior of
Mom,
humming.
it's just a phase. Son, put your hair up. No, Mom. I like it like this. I like it down. Covers my eyes, Mom.
in order to attract a mate, something that shows an unusually high level of intelligence. Australia is also known for its spiders, but while everyone is busy talking about the ones that can kill a person, almost no one mentions that Australia is home to some of the most beautiful
Yeah,
spiders in the world.
dancing
The
queen.
peacock spiders are a
Feel
family of
the
jumping spiders found primarily in Australia. They're
I didn't
known
know
as
they were
peacock
Australian,
spiders
actually.
because the males have bright colors on their abdomens that they use to attract a mate. And it isn't just that they're colorful. The males will actually raise their abdomens and fan them out, just like a peacock. Then they perform an intricate dance to draw females in. In
Yes.
Southeast Asia, there are a surprisingly high number of large animals that many people don't know about. For example, the saola, one of the rarest animals in the world, is found in the Annamite Mountains between Laos and Vietnam. While it looks like an antelope, it's actually a species of bovine. And despite being one of the larger
Oh.
animals within its range, it was only scientifically described in 1993.
Wow.
Its rarity and elusive behavior earned it the nickname of the Asian unicorn. Southeast Asia is also home to a large black and white mammal called
tapir.
the Malayan tapir. They're most closely related to horses and rhinos, and they have a short, trunk-like nose.
Yeah.
And this isn't the only species of tapir. In the tropical forests of Central and South America are at least 3 more species, all of which are slightly smaller and are fully gray or brown in appearance. Indonesia is home to a
Oh my
species of
God.
wild pig that looks like it came right out of a horror movie.
Yeah, you can say
There
that
are
again.
3 recognized species of babi rusa found
Whoa.
throughout Indonesia, all of which have thin, nearly hairless gray-pink skin and impressive tusks that curve backwards and can, on rare occasions, even grow to the point of penetrating their own skulls. Parts of Southeast Asia are also home to an ungulate that looks like a mix between a goat and an
Oh.
antelope called the sero. There are 4 species.
Oh my God, look at that
range from
fluffy
Southeast
guy.
Asia up through the Himalayas, China and Japan, and down into India.
Wow.
Their elusive nature and the lack of scientists that study them has meant that
Oh, he's
few have
stressed.
heard of these unique animals.
Poor guy. It's alright.
Asia is also home to one of the most trafficked animals in the world, which few people have seemingly heard of, the pangolin,
Oh,
with their
pangolin.
closest relatives being
Oh,
carnivores
not an
like dogs,
armadillo.
bears, and cats. The pangolins all have a specialized diet consisting
Whoa.
of insects.
Look at that
There
tongue.
are 8 species spread across Asia and Africa, and they all lack teeth, have long tongues and sharp claws used for foraging, and are covered in scales made of keratin. These scales are highly prized in Chinese medicine, leading to relentless poaching. All 8 species are threatened with extinction, with most being assessed as endangered or critically endangered. Most people don't know about the vivarids, a family
Whoa.
of mammals that include civets and genets. But Southeast Asia is home to a large arboreal vivarid that seems to be more overlooked than others.
Even for
The
me.
binturong is
Yeah,
sometimes
thank you,
called the bear
Kazunagi.
cat
Get some good
because it
rest.
looks like a
This
mix
is
of
a
those
pretty
two
good video. I
animals.
like it actually.
They have the unique feature of smelling like buttery popcorn, and they're one of few carnivorous mammals that has a prehensile tail.
Ah.
Also found living in the trees of Southeast Asia is a really strange animal known as the colugo, or the flying lemur. While their closest living relatives are in fact the primates, they are not
That's
themselves
freaky.
primates. They look like a strange cross between a lemur and a flying squirrel, and there are only 2 species, one in the Philippines and the other found on the Sunda Islands and parts of mainland Southeast Asia. Many bird species are unknown to most of us. There are nearly 11,000 described species globally, so it's no surprise. But most of us could look at one of these species we don't know, and it would feel familiar. But the Maleo looks so different
Whoa.
from other birds. It's surprising that most
Look how
of us
little his head
haven't
is.
even ever seen a picture of one before. Found only on the islands of Bhutan and Sulawesi in Indonesia, these birds have beautiful black plumage, salmon pink underparts, a bald head with a prominent casque, and orange-yellow circles around their eyes. But even more interesting is their breeding behavior. Instead of incubating their own eggs and rearing their young, they bury their abnormally large eggs,
Whoa.
up to 5 times the size of a standard chicken egg, in warm sand, volcanic soil, or near hot springs, allowing the heat of the earth to incubate the eggs for them.
Oh, that's
Because of
clever.
the large size of the
Turkey,
eggs,
no.
the chicks are able to mature more than most other birds before hatching. When they do finally hatch, they dig out of the sand and are immediately capable of flying and fending for themselves.
Wow.
Asia is also home to a couple of species of wild dog that very few people have ever
Dog.
heard of. The dhole looks like a small wolf, having a reddish-brown coat, a bushy tail, and rounded ears. They live in clans of up to 40 animals, but
Wow.
unlike other canids, they don't have a hierarchical dominance structure, allowing them to work cooperatively. They also communicate primarily through a series of whistles, leading to them also being known as whistling dogs.
Wow.
Another dog species from Asia
Aw.
is one that looks a lot like a well-known North American animal. The raccoon dog has a similar face
Raccoon
shape
dog.
and markings to raccoons, but they are in fact a species
He's
of
got no
canids.
teeth.
They have thick fur and bushy tails, and if you watch anime, you might be familiar with them, as they're well-known animals in Japan.
Aww.
They form monogamous bonds and are one of only 2 species of canid that will readily climb trees to escape predators. They've also been introduced
Oh, he
to
does have
much of
teeth.
Europe, where they're
So that
considered
this
pests.
particular one just didn't.
East Asia is also home
Monkey.
to one of the most northerly occurring species of primate in the world, the golden snub-nosed monkey. They have vibrant fur that ranges from golden to orange, with shades of gray and white. Their faces are pale blue, and they have distinctive upturned noses. Living in high elevations, this is one of the only species of primate that can survive in snow. Also found in the higher elevations of Asia are the pikas. Related to rabbits and hares, these small mammals don't hop or jump.
I
but
like it.
rather
I like his
swim and
ears.
dash quickly across rocky montane
cool.
surfaces. Almost all
Whoa.
extant species are found in Asia today,
What are you looking at,
primarily in
bud?
China, though the Rocky Mountains of North America are home to 2 species. The Himalayas are also home to a strange
I'm already
species of
eepy.
ungulate that looks a lot like a muskox, but is actually more closely related to sheep. The takin lives between 1,000 and 4,500 meters, where they graze on a variety of vegetation. Despite being the national animal of the Kingdom of Bhutan and having an important role in local mythology and folklore, outside of the Himalayas, it seems that not many people know about this unique animal.
Oh.
Moving south into India,
Aww.
the next animal
Look
is a
at
squirrel,
him.
which of course most people know about. But what sets this squirrel apart
Whoa.
is its huge size and beautiful coloration. The Indian giant squirrel is chestnut brown, black, and
He does
tan,
look cool.
with bold and distinct
Voldemort
markings.
monkey. Well, I
Weighing
heard
as much
that
as 2 kil-
I remember seeing something a while ago, like this could have been years ago, but it's because they're well, for example, these monkeys, because they live in higher elevations, there's less oxygen. So in order to intake more oxygen, that's why they have those upturned noses. Because I remember watching something about why, I think it was about humans though, about why different parts of the world people have different features, because it all comes back to the climate and where you live. Like everyone's features are for like are evolutionized to be based on the climate you're in. So that's probably why he has the little Voldemort nose, to take in more oxygen, because he's so high elevation.
kilograms and having a head and body length of as much as 50 centimeters. These squirrels are 2 to 3 times larger than the
I
squirrels
love
commonly
this
encountered
squirrel.
in
It's so
places like
pretty.
Europe and North America. Unlike other squirrel species, the Indian giant squirrel prefers to stay in the forest canopy, very rarely going down to the forest floor. In the dry, open ecosystems of Asia and North Africa, especially in the Middle East, lives a group of rodents known as jerboas. While being the size of a mouse,
That's what he
they have a
is.
kangaroo-like appearance, standing on their large hind
See,
legs
we
and
have
feet and using their
hold on, I'll see if I can find it. We have this. I thought it was this. I thought it was this guy. Hold on. You see this guy? We have this guy in Australia. He's called the Mitchell's hopping mouse. I thought he was this, but he's a jerboa. Look at him, it's so little.
tails and smaller front limbs for balance. Their main form of locomotion is hopping, which is why they prefer open ecosystems. Many species that live in areas with extreme heat have developed large ears in order to dissipate body heat more easily. They also avoid the heat through their nocturnal
Look
lifestyle,
how big his ears
and their
are.
large ears help them avoid
That was a
predation by
bandicoot.
providing them with excellent hearing.
The squirrel?
In the cooler, temperate
does look
forests
really
further
cool.
north, from eastern Russia across northern Europe, and even into parts of Scotland and the UK, lives a beautiful species of grouse that isn't well known outside of the region. The Eurasian capercaillie is the largest species of grouse in the world, with males reaching
She's
weights
got
of as much as 7
eyeliner.
kilograms. While courting females, the males will perform elaborate courtship rituals, displaying their beautiful feathers and showing off their unique vocalizations. Their beauty has made them a popular game bird throughout their range, and the Scottish population, which is believed to have been its own distinct subspecies, was actually hunted to extinction in the 18th century. The Eurasian capercaillie found there today are descended from
What?
birds that were reintroduced from the European mainland. Far more obscure are the two species of desman found in Europe.
Oh.
They're in the mole family. But
Moles.
desmans don't spend their time burrowing underground. Instead, they use their webbed feet and laterally flattened muscular tails to swim as they hunt for prey. The Pyrenean desman from Spain,
Ew.
Portugal, and France
So they're
is
like
endangered,
water moles.
while the Russian desman is even rarer, being critically endangered.
Damn.
Also found in the waters of Europe
Ew.
is a strange species of amphibian you likely haven't heard of. The olm is found exclusively in
Ew.
freshwater cave habitats along the northeastern side of the Adriatic Sea. Living in caves, they're practically blind, instead navigating through their senses of smell and hearing, and using electrosensitivity to get around.
It's just an
It can be hard
elongated
to find food
axolotl.
in these caves.
He does look
As
cool
a
though. It's like a
result,
dragon.
They've developed slow metabolisms that allow them to survive for years without food.
Wow.
Historically, the people who encountered them thought they were the offspring of cave dragons.
Yeah.
Another strange dragon-like animal
Oh, is this
found
like
in
the
Eurasia
legless
is
lizard?
the sheltopusik.
Oh.
While this interesting reptile looks a lot like a snake, it's actually the longest species of legless lizard in the world.
Yeah, legless
While
lizard.
many within the reptile hobby are familiar with this species, the majority of the general public aren't even aware that there are species of legless lizard found all over the world.
Years,
The
yeah.
sheltopusik can reach lengths of up to 1.
What's the point in being a
meters,
legless lizard? Just
and they're
commit
also
to being
known
a
as glass
snake.
lizards
What's happening
because
here?
of their ability to break. When threatened, they sometimes drop their tails, distracting a potential predator and giving them time to slither away.
I don't like that it looks like it's cut in half.
And that's it for today's
Wow,
video.
that was a good
Did
video.
you know any of these animals already?
I did,
Which ones were
actually.
new to you? Let me know in the comments
So this
below.
one is mythical sea creatures that
mentioned in the
really
intro,
existed.
Have you ever wondered what's hiding in the 80% of the ocean
So
we've
we'll
never
see here.
explored? What if some sea monsters from legends were actually real, hiding there? Today we're looking at 10 mythical sea creatures that really existed. 4 of them showed up in my older videos, but 6 are totally new discoveries. So stick around. The craziest ones are waiting at the
Dragon.
end.
Dragon.
Number 10, Kraken.
Dragon.
As far back as the 12th century, sailors and people living near the sea told scary stories about the Kraken, a giant sea monster that looked like a squid. They said it attacked ships and pulled them underwater. The story probably began in the waters around Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. It spoke of a huge creature with long arms that could grab whales or smash large ships. The Kraken didn't just attack. It pulled ships down and made a strong whirlpool that sank everything and everyone on board. Like many old stories, this one was probably made bigger and scarier over time. But the first report of someone seeing the Kraken goes back to the year 1180. At that time, sailors
Wow,
didn't know
that's
about giant
crazy.
squids. So when they saw something strange in
1180.
the water, they thought it was a sea monster that ate people. But what if the stories were true? In
See, that's
1853,
so.
some-
Imagine living in a time where you just didn't know things. Like, because even now, when things get discovered, we always discover things with logic. You know what I mean? It's like we discover things and there's a reason behind it. We know what we're looking at. But back then, like, imagine. I mean, even sailing at that point sailing at that point would have been such an experiment in itself, like figuring out what boats are good, like how to actually sail and navigate the seas, knowing, you know, how to handle, like, what's gonna happen when, because can you imagine the first person to go on a boat and then they go into the high seas and, like, their boat just capsizes immediately and there's, like, what, a couple hundred people in the ocean dead, like, right there and then, because they didn't know that was gonna fucking happen. Like, there has been so much change since that point. It's just wild to think that there was a point in time where life was like that, and to be on a boat, that'd be fucking terrifying, where there's no land anywhere and you see this, like, tentacle thing in the distance and you're like, it's a monster, we're dead, that's it. Like, how? That's
Something
scary.
big washed up on a beach in Denmark. It was a huge sea animal. The first time something like that had been seen up close, and it looked a lot like the Kraken.
Is
from the old
that
stories.
real?
Since then, scientists have asked how many kinds of giant squid exist and how big they can get. But can any of them reach the size people talked about in the past? Think about this. Animals like the Megalodon and Nothosaurus were real, and the biggest squid found so far was 43 feet long, about 13 meters. So many believe a squid that big could be real. But that's not all. In 2011, scientists found bones from very old sea reptiles. The bones were placed in a strange way. Some scientists said only a huge octopus or kraken-like squid could have done it. One scientist, Professor Mark McMenamin, has spent years trying to show that these giant squid were real. He looked at the bones of a sea reptile called a Shawneesaurus, which lived 200 million years ago. The bones weren't spread out, and they were grouped together. He also saw marks that looked like they were made by squid suckers, and the neck was broken, so he believes something big attacked it. The way the bones were placed is like how today's octopuses pull food to their homes. But this sea creature would have had to be over 30 meters long to kill and eat that big reptile. That's more than twice the size of any squid we've ever found. So, was the Kraken real? Maybe. The old stories from sailors might not be all made up. And the deep ocean, which we still don't fully understand.
And that wasn't a
could have
long
been,
time
or
ago.
maybe
That was
still
hundreds
is,
of
home to
years
a
ago.
creature
There's a
like the
possibility
Kraken.
that
Number
it did
9,
exist and
Leviathan.
now
Leviathan
doesn't.
wasn't just a
I
myth.
guess,
It's mentioned
right?
in the Bible as a sea monster so strong
The
nothing
Bible.
could tame it. But here's something
Bum,
even
bum, bum.
weirder. People all over the world talk about huge sea monsters. Old Greeks spoke of snakes with very long necks, but sailors in Asia and the Pacific said they saw massive shadows slipping beneath the deep dark waves. These people never met, yet described nearly the same monster. That's not a coincidence. Why did so many believe something like this existed? About 50 million years ago, a real sea snake
And that's the
named
thing as well.
Polyeuphus ruled the ocean.
The one thing that always gets me is that back in a time where there wasn't communication, well, there probably was very minimal to zero communication among countries, to all have the same, see the same things and have the same things in their history relative to each other in other countries is also what makes me think that a lot of this stuff is real, especially when it comes to dragons. Everyone has a story about dragons. I can't say everyone, but a lot of different countries have their thing about dragons. I think they were real at one point.
Oceans. It was over 30 feet
And I
long,
hope they
the
are
size
still
of 4
real and they
small
come back
farms.
to
It
life
lived in
and
warm
destroy
coastal
the
waters,
planet.
so people long ago could have found its bones or seen rare survivors. But scientists say it's gone now. Still, over 95% of the ocean is unexplored. So some believe distant cousins may still be alive in the deep, causing modern sea serpent stories. But Leviathan might not have been a snake at all. Some stories describe it as something even bigger. There was a giant whale called Leviathan. It had teeth as long as your hand and hunted other whales. Some
Wow.
believe it even fought the Megalodon and won. So,
The
scientists named it
Megalodon.
after the famous
See-
Leviathan. Leviathan
I thought you were real, but now I'm thinking you're an AI. I think this is an AI voice, and that makes me dislike this video. Because who says Megalodon? Everybody knows it's Megalodon. You know what I mean? That's an
wasn't just a
AI
myth.
trip
It was
up.
inspired by real monsters like giant whales and giant sea serpents that once ruled our oceans. And maybe something just as terrifying is still hiding deep below the waves. Number 8, giant sea serpents. Do you like snakes? Probably not. But imagine spotting one
But
over a
there's
mile long,
inflection, so
slithering
I think
through
it's
the sea.
real, but-
Myths of giant sea serpents stretch across cultures. From the South Asian Naga gods to Japan's Ryujin to the Norse
Ryujin?
Jormungandr. One of the most
Religion! It's an AI. Oh, I'm so disappointed now. Man. I hate watching AI videos. Everyone uses AI now.
chilling cases comes from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Between 1817 and 1819, dozens claimed they saw a monstrous creature with a long body and snake-like head. The reports described it as huge, too big to explain. Some say these sightings were just misidentified animals. A basking shark, maybe? From above, this 40-foot fish glides through water like a serpent. In fact, back in 1808, a 55-foot carcass of one washed ashore in Scotland. Locals were convinced it was a sea serpent. But the basking shark isn't the only suspect. In 1860, another so-called sea serpent washed up in Bermuda. It turned out to be an oarfish, a creature even stranger. Oarfish can reach 50 feet long, with thin, silver bodies and eerie red filaments along their spines. They lack scales, they ripple like ribbons, and they rarely surface unless they're sick or dying. At night, they rise toward the surface to feed, making them seem even more mysterious. So, what was the Gloucester serpent? A basking shark? An oarfish? Or something else entirely? One thing's for sure. At sea, distance and size are hard to judge, especially at night. But every glimpse of something long, dark, and twisting through the waves has kept this legend alive. Number 7, Naga. You might have heard about snake worship in India and thought it's just an old strange tradition, but really it's a belief based on ancient myths. The legend of the Naga goes back thousands of years in Hindu and Buddhist stories. The Naga is described as a creature that's half human, half snake, sometimes with a human upper body and a snake tail, or as a giant snake with 5 or even 7 heads. According to these stories, Nagas guard rivers, springs, treasures, and even the rain. People used to believe that respecting a Naga could bring wealth, wisdom, and protection from snake bites. But if they insulted it, they thought the Naga might punish them with floods, drought, and
Clinker
sickness.
it out of
Snake
here.
worship
I
still
know,
exists
I
today in
know.
some parts of
That's what
India.
I'm
The cobra
thinking.
is especially important in this belief.
Because
During
even
the
all
Nag
like all
Panchami
the art
festival,
they've been
people
showing
offer
is
milk to
AI as
snakes,
well.
following an old custom based on legend. Many temples still show carvings of Nagas with their hoods raised.
Nope. Dislike. Boo. Get out of my list. How do I remove you from my list? I don't know how. Next.
Today, instead of talking about animal reproduction, we are going to be talking about animal defense behaviors, but this time we have a green screen. Nice flower. So I have a few stories to tell you guys about. There's a bee. Chat, I have a few stories to tell you guys about animal defense. Everybody on the same page? I like stories. Then you were in the right place, baby. Nightmare. My pencil's dead. Okay, I'm gonna stall a little bit because my Apple Pencil is dead. Okay, now you guys ready to rumble? This is a stream where I just tell you stories about some weird animals and the weird stuff that they do. Today, we're specifically about defense behaviors. Our first story today, the hot death ball of fiery fury. Today we're talking about the Japanese honeybee.
Oh.
He's cute. Found almost exclusively in their native range in Japan, not to be confused with the European honeybee or the cringe invasive honeybee, okay, that we see everywhere. These guys have 4 bands on their butt. European honeybees only have 3, okay? The drones or worker bees, which are pictured here, have little pollen baskets on their legs for pollination. If you guys have seen bees with these little bits on their legs,
That's
they're
cute.
doing work. They're carrying pollen around. They have little pollen baskets. How cute. Okay, love that for them.
Yeah.
You guys know who the enemy of these bees is? The northern giant hornet.
Oh.
The nemesis, if you will, of the Japanese honeybee.
God.
Nemesis is the northern giant hornet. This is him to scale. Don't be afraid. He won't eat you because you're not a bug. But if one of you is a bee, you should be really, really scared. The hornets are much larger, right, than the little bees.
Yeah.
So this little bee could not possibly take on this hornet on its own, right? So what does it do? Engage hot bee ball attack. What is the
Hot
best
bee
way to
ball.
beat up somebody that's bigger than you?
That's
bring
what you
all
call
your
intense
friends and you
basketball.
jump 'em. Am I right or am I right?
Hot
You
bee ball.
surround them. No, this is not bullying actually because the giant
This is
hornet
murder.
just ate one of their friends. So it's not bullying, it's actually self-defense. This is an organized attack. Why is it called the hot death ball of fiery fury, you may ask? Because these bees vibrate their flight muscles to produce heat, a lot of it. They're able to flappy so fast and so much that it becomes 117 degrees Fahrenheit inside the bee ball. You want to see what this looks like?
A prize this rich is
I'm doing my job protecting the hive.
then one is caught.
Y'all see
I wonder
that?
if they'll actually catch fire. That's crazy. Can you imagine? Hi, small bird. Welcome.
Bees are really small.
Attack!
This is horrifying. These honeybees are tolerant of 2 degrees Celsius higher than the hornet. So they stop making it hot right before they die.
wilds
But
are
him, he
living
can't
with the
take that.
enemy.
I know some people have heard
Wow.
about the hot fiery bee ball of death, but now you know a little bit more about it maybe.
That's
We're in the
crazy.
desert now. This one, I put as my second animal, but it turns out I think this is my favorite animal of the whole presentation, or the whole stream. We're going to talk about the eyeball blood gun. No, we're not
Oh,
talking about
I know this.
worms from Dune, although I understand why you would
I
say
know
that.
this one.
We are talking about the horned lizard or horny toad, sometimes called horned toads. We have these in Texas. They're native in Texas, and they are very, very cute. Look at him. But before we get to that defense, one of his many defenses is camouflage. Oop, that's not... Well, it was supposed to be a different asset, sorry. So you can't even tell that he's there. Actually kind of sick, actually really good at what they do, really good for rocks, really good for trees, very great. Another one of their forms of defense is puffing up their bodies to appear larger, which a lot of animals do. A lot of animals will like go like this, so they look bigger, or, like, go like this so they look bigger, you know. It's just kind of funny when the horny toad does it. I think it's just because they got like short necks and like short legs and a pretty round body. But they'll puff up to be like, don't touch me. He is.
That's what I do. That's exactly how I look when I get annoyed at you guys chat. When you guys annoy me, this is what you're annoying. That's me. That's what you're making me do. Ew, not that.
To protect against enemies.
Ew.
So they have two constricting muscles that line the major veins around their eyeballs here. When the muscles contract, they cut off the blood flow to the lizard's heart, and then the blood continues to flow to its head. And then it floods the ocular sinuses here, and then the building up of pressure causes a bulge in their eye. It builds up, and then they can shoot it. You guys know how far they can shoot this blood from their eye?
God.
Mind you, this is a lizard like this size. They can shoot the blood 5 feet into the air. For reference, I am about 5 feet tall. This is how far they can shoot it. From my feet in this picture to my head. Another fun fact about it, it's got like a repulsive taste. Because what they eat is a venomous harvester ant. This is the ant that's venomous that they eat. Honestly, I'm really happy for him. I'm glad he can do all that, and I hope nobody eats him, because I really like them. Alright, you guys ready for the next story? Our next story is called Boiling
Hi, Legion. Welcome.
Now,
I'm good, thank
do any
you.
of you have
Boiling
guesses
butt rocket.
as to
Ew.
what this is about? Taco Bell is crazy. This is about the Bombardier beetle. This guy. It's just a little beetle. It's just a little guy, very small beetle. They inhabit all continents.
Forbidden Kool-Aid? No.
This guy's all over. He's on top of the world. This is the world. Why is this story called The Boiling Butt Rocket, you ask? Why do you think, chat? He shoots hot poop, weaponized diarrhea. Go pew pew with his butt. He shoot hot fart. Close. They shoot boiling liquid from their anus. A duh. Here's a picture of a Bombardier beetle shooting boiling liquid from his anus at this person's fingy. Does it hurt? Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's yes. How do they boil it? Okay, so check this out. This is a Bombardier beetle. They have an elaborate internal network of reservoirs and chambers to synthesize poison blasts. They have two separate chambers. In this top chamber, they have in this chamber, they have hydrogen peroxide. You guys ever done a volcano? Like a science fair volcano?
Yes.
Soda vinegar? No? Why are you all saying no? The point, you know what I'm talking about. It's a science fair project where you have a volcano and you put vinegar and baking soda in and a chemical reaction happens where it like spews out a bunch of foam so it looks like a volcano, right? So
An actual Pokemon.
Freaking beetle, there's two separate chambers and then there's a valve and there's a special chamber here, a third chamber that has an enzyme in it. Enzymes catalyze reactions. Both of these things go into this chamber with an enzyme in it. The volcano is happening inside the third chamber and gases rapidly expand and they produce heat inside that chamber.
That's pretty crazy.
And then it exits.
Hi, Tyson. Welcome.
How fast do you think it exits? In miles per hour, please, Americans. 50, 100, 30, 400, 70, 200, 22 miles per hour. Which it's faster than I can go, okay? It's still really fast. I hyped it up too much. How hot do you think it is? 212 degrees Fahrenheit. 100 degrees Celsius. Ah! My reaction was so slow. I would be so dead. I'd be so super dead right now. 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. Are you kidding me?
That's hot
Also,
ass.
imagine what I just said. In this little bug, one chamber, two chambers, go into a third chamber where the reaction happens. Burp, 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 burp. Exits. Is he burning himself? No, he's fine. But also, they can aim it. They can aim with their butt. Should we get some at Alveus? And I can hand them to collaborators as a surprise. And they're like, oh my god, what the heck? And I say, April Fools. The next story that I have for you is about this guy. Who is it? Potato is wrong. Woodpecker, flying squirrel. Guys, actually try. Kitten McNugget. Congratulations, you are correct. This is about the sea cucumber. The sea cucumber, our friend. Look, I'll put him in here. There he is.
Okay, sea cucumber. Let's go sea cucumber.
1,250-ish species of sea cucumber. They are marine animals. They feed on algae, waste particles, small marine animals to break them down into smaller things, smaller particles, and then they get recycled back into the ocean. They're very important.
Let's go sea
Those are not
cucumber.
plants. No.
Look at these
Sea
little
cucumbers aren't plants.
hands.
They're living beings. They don't have brains, though. They're found virtually in every marine environment in the world. So they are all over the place. What do you think that this is? Kelp, seagrass, seaweed. You're all wrong. It's organs, stupids. It's the organs of a sea cucumber. Ah, this is a sea cucumber, just like my drawing. Here, look, now I'm sitting with him like he's my dog. This nice little guy. Little sea cucumber, so cute. But wait! What if he hates me? Then what? He's mad that I touched him, so he expels his organs. He's like, don't touch me! So he self-eviscerates. Self-evisceration is the process of removing one or all of the organs from the inside of the body. Would not recommend
That's
Googling
wild.
self-evisceration. Actually super gnarly. Because it's so uncommon. It's not something that happens in the animal kingdom often. You get a lot of human stuff, it's not chill. But this is something that doesn't happen very often, obviously. Because what the hell is this? Have you ever seen this? Maybe you saw this in the ocean, you'd be like, oh, it's a little anemone.
Ew.
Look at he's just hanging out in the ocean. Wrong organs. But why? Because if there's a predator who's trying to eat him, then he expels all his organs and they're poisonous. And then he can entangle the predator in his organs and kill it. It's just very distracting because you're like, what the hell?
Whoa.
Imagine you're like going to bully some kid.
Oh
and
no,
he
he's getting
expels all his
tangled.
organs. You're gonna be like, what the hell? What are you doing? What the hell? And you're gonna be so confused, you're gonna forget to eat him. How do
Oh,
they survive that? I
shit.
don't know. They do it and then it just goes back inside. They do it to protect themselves and they just put it back. Do you guys think that I'm a good educator? My analogy went a little bit off the rails. I'm trying to be relatable and cool, you know?
There's two.
You know? You guys want to see what it looks like in action? That's just his mouth. He's eating.
It knows no fear.
It's not an anemone.
Possibly because it has no brain.
He unfortunately
When
has
to
no
fight,
brain.
In the animal kingdom, there's no emergency rooms, band-aids, or kisses from mommy. A fish nips its
Kisses from
backside.
mommy.
The
Oh,
wrong
mistake. Huge mistake. That's his anus. Wait, check this out. Here come his organs.
What the
Why?
fuck?
Guys,
Ew.
this is a sea cucumber expelling
With
its
a
organs out of its
surprisingly
anus
resourceful lung.
as a method of defense. What do you guys think? Did you already know that? Did you already know that
What
sea
is that?
cucumbers expel their organs,
Ew.
their poison organs out
But
of
what
their anus?
are its organs though? Because they don't look like organs to me. Like what organs are they exactly? You know what I mean?
Are they edible? A lot of people eat sea cucumbers, yes. All right, our next story of the day. Ant. Go boom boom. Now this could mean multiple things. This could either mean
Exploding
that the
ants?
ant goes poopy or that it explodes. Which do you think it is?
Explodes.
I'll give you a hint. It's not both. This is the Malaysian exploding ant.
Oh,
That
God.
answers your question there. They live in the treetops of Borneo. They were discovered in 1935, so they're kind of hot off the press a little bit now. Kind of like a fresh new drop. It's a pretty normal looking ant, right? Normal looking, like a reddish ant, but they are not normal in function. Can you imagine discovering this ant and finding out when threatened, they flex
explode?
their abdomens so hard that they explode? Sorry. It's actually sad. I should not be laughing because it means death for the ant. This is the ant in question. Yes, this is life size. Yes, I did this to scale. Yes, this is how big they are. I'm joking. They're ant sized. But yeah, when they get pissed off, they flex so hard that their abdomen bursts. Anybody ever do that? Anybody ever at the gym just flex so
What?
hard that you just explode because you're so jacked? What does this actually look like? It looks like this. Kind of yuck. When the ant explodes, this is an ant defending its colony against another ant that's trying to attack it. They flex really hard and their abdomen explodes and they secrete a yellow, sticky, toxic goo that smells like something that you wouldn't expect. This is the weirdest dream ever. Donuts, cherries, pizza, or curry. You can type A, B, C, or D. Let's see what you guys think. Personally, I think
Donut.
they smell like mustard, but that's not an option.
Donut.
A lot of people guessing cherries and a lot of people guessing curry. Cherries is an interesting guess. There are millipedes, cherry millipedes. Actually, their secretions smell like almonds, but I've also heard, I think they also smell like cherry, and they produce cyanide. So that's a good guess. But the correct answer here is D. It smells like curry.
Curry. That's.
See, I asked why, like I was going to be a teacher, and I was going to tell you why, but I'm actually asking you why. I don't know. I don't know, it just does. I don't have a video for this story because there's not really a lot of great footage of it happening. There's like some
That's
CGI
sad.
footage of it.
There's a lot of
happening, but
animals,
it's
a lot of
exactly what it
insects in
sounds like,
particular
you know,
that like
literally
will
they take their little bodies
die.
and they fluctuate.
Yum! No, it makes me not want to eat curry.
Someone's studying them right now. There's a gal out there studying them right now. I'm sure she'll come up with some crazy stuff and it'll be really cool, and then you guys can learn about it when she learns more. But again, this is a relatively recently discovered ant.
I'm getting so
1935.
tired.
And there aren't a ton of people studying bugs because they're underappreciated. Chat, you could be an entomologist if you wanted to. We need more of them. All right, that's the story of bugs.
Entomology.
What's the next one? This one I like to call Nickelodeon Nightmare. What do you guys
Nickelodeon
think? Who do you think this is about?
slime.
Potentially bad timing on this title. Didn't think about it until just now.
Didn't they used to do
Instead
slime
of
stuff?
guessing who you think it's about,
Was that Nickelodeon?
you guess what this animal is. Who's that? A snail, a turd, a tapeworm, interesting guess, a monkey. This is none other than the hagfish. What is
Oh,
this?
what
Who
is
this?
it?
First of all, stop saying ew because he's right here. What's wrong with you? Second of all, this is an eel-shaped jawless fish. They're sometimes called slime eels, and I want you to be nicer to him. He's cool. I have terrible news for you. If you don't like what he looks like on the outside, you are super not gonna like what he looks like on the inside. Before I move, I want you guys to remember that if you can't say something nice, you don't need to say anything at all. This is the this is the mouth of a hagfish.
What?
It's not that bad. Their mouths have 2 pairs of teeth on a cartilaginous plate that protracts and retracts for grasping food. So they can, not only is it like that, but they can also go. I think it's cool. Kinda cool. Mr. Hagfish, my friend. Okay, if you don't like this about the hagfish, you're really not gonna like one of
I'm
its best
speechless.
adaptations. Hagfish can produce copious amounts of slime. This is also called the slime eel. They can produce copious, like so much, like way more than you would think that they need to, like copious amounts of slime from specialized glands. It's actually very important for them. You don't need to throw up. It's fine. This is just a picture. Don't be a baby. Close your eyes. Turn your monitor off. Okay, we're just here to learn about hagfish. Someone said slime from specialized glands. Speaking of which, though, this is what their slime looks like. Hagfish slime is more durable and more retentive than any other slime produced by any animal on Earth. It is incredibly thick and viscous. I would like to shout out the I'd like to shout out the 6,900 viewers that I have at this moment. Thank you for being here today. I am blessed. When disturbed, hagfish expel slime. If you have gills, this stuff is like big problem.
Oh,
If you
because
have
it'll clog up the gills.
and you get coated in this and it wraps around you, you die. Hagfish choke predators with slime by expelling it and clogging their gills. You want to see what it looks like? Check this out. Gill clogging slime secretion in hagfishes, a defense mechanism against predation. There's a hagfish. He's eating. Let him be. Don't bother him. Don't do it. He's bothering him. He's bothering him real bad. There's all the slime coming off.
Oh.
You see that? Success. Again. He's choking him. He's choking him. Ew.
Oh,
Ew.
he's like,
Don't-
no, nasty.
Ew. It's very effective.
Ugh.
14 attempts to prey on hagfish by various predators have been observed. None successful. Not a single attempt successful that they recorded in eating a hagfish because the slime goes so crazy. What the heck is this? We're drowning. 100% win rate. All right, next up. This one I have titled, What a Rush. What do you think this is about? I'll give you a hint. We are in the Amazon rainforest right now. We're talking about the Brazilian wandering spider, also called the banana spider. They're native to Brazil.
Is
and
it
they're
a
named
big
for their
spider?
tendency to wander and search for prey instead of sitting and waiting. These guys are venomous nocturnal hunters. If you like frogs, fair warning. They'll eat large prey like frogs.
No.
Which is kind of crazy for a spider. This is like a very, very large prey item. It's a very large prey item for an animal that size. The Brazilian wandering spider is thought to be one of the most venomous spiders in the world. This is him really mad. Can we make him really big?
Whoa.
This is him when he's really mad. Me
Whoa.
walking up to the Brazilian wandering
Look!
spider. He's like, get away from me. He don't like me walking up to him like that. Their venom
He's
contains
big.
at least 6 neurotoxic peptides, one of which causes priapism in humans. Does anybody know what priapism is? Wow, a lot of people know what that is. I'm actually surprised. I had never heard that word before. It's a condition that causes a painful erection for hours in the absence of stimulation.
What?
It's educational, okay? Yeah, their venom causes priapism. So one of the signs of being bit by
Is
one
that
of these
you have
spiders
an
is having
erection.
a painful, long-lasting erection with no other stimulation.
Lads,
Humans
keep
can
an
survive
eye
a
out.
bite from a wandering spider. It is legitimately something that they look for in hospitals, though. If you're in Brazil and you come in really sick or you got a spider bite and you don't know what spider it is, they will ask you if you have an erection. So you can survive a wandering spider bite with antivenom.
Also, that
if you
game
will
they're playing in the
experience
background, I
priapism
used to
yourself.
play that all the time as a kid.
I'm an educator. So a lot of people are saying Viagra. Funny that you bring that up. A new treatment for erectile dysfunction just passed its first phase of human testing in Brazil in 2023 using wandering spider venom. So instead of it being Viagra, where it's like a pill.
I think I have that spider in my zoo in Planet Zoo, actually. I think I have the Brazilian wandering spider in my zoo.
That can be,
Oh no.
directly to the site, which works for some people that cannot take Viagra. I don't know who this guy is. I got a stock photos. He wasn't a part of the study, probably. Anyway, that's the Brazilian wandering spider. We have one more story to go, guys. Last story. If the horny toad wasn't my favorite one, this is my favorite one. The title of this is a quote, and if you recognize it, you get a cookie. Congratulations. I'm the best at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice. It is a Wolverine quote. Max loves X-Men. Yes.
Wait a minute,
it's
I'm
a
flying to
Wolverine quote.
Brazil. Oh my god,
We're
protect your
talking
wiener.
about. Oh,
Actually, don't protect your
I'm a
wiener.
little early.
Protect yourself from spider bites, otherwise your
Sorry.
wiener's gonna hurt.
We're talking
Then you'll
about
need
a
to protect
Wolverine
your wiener.
frog. I assumed my first picture was of the frog, but it's about something else. We're talking about a Wolverine frog. It's also called a hairy frog. I will show you why in a second. It's a frog native to
frogs.
Central Africa. It's about 3 to 5 inches long. It's called a Wolverine frog, okay? It's not unknown for animals to have retractable claws, like this cat. Cat's claws are retractable. They can put them out and take them back in. Their claws are made from keratin, though. Wolverine frogs technically have retractable claws.
the
and I'm gonna tell you
fuck?
what that means in just a second. Another crazy thing about Wolverine frogs, though, they're also called hairy frogs. Why? Because they have freaking hair. Because the males grow hair
Ew.
filaments during the breeding season. They have hair. Wolverine frog. This is crazy enough that they're furries, okay? But what's crazier is that they're named Wolverine frogs because of who? This guy. Is this Hugh Jackman? Because of Hugh Jackman. Wolverine. He has claws. You know what else has claws? The Wolverine frog. You ever seen a frog with claws?
Yes, once.
Claws! But wait! That's not claws. You're right. It's a bone. It's not frog claws. Also, I said they're retractable. It's not a claw. It's their bone. It's a bone. They're attached to a nodule in their toe here, and they can be disconnected from the nodule, but when it gets disconnected, it breaks through their skin and becomes a claw, like Wolverine. Are they like Wolverine, where they
What?
go back in? Nobody knows somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but they don't know because they've only studied specimens. They haven't studied live frogs. So they don't know what it looks like for them to go back in, for the claws to go back in, and what it does for the skin, and if it's possible for it to happen again. But I imagine they probably can do that multiple times. Wolverine says it hurts every time the claws come out. I have a special treat for you guys. Let's see where this inspo came from, shall we? This movie's 24 years old. He says he owes him some money, but he doesn't know that his bone can disconnect from the nodule in his toe and break through his skin, his hand. Uh-oh. Ew! Ew! Sorry. Retractable. See? Why is he looking at me like that? I'm the best at what I do. Very nice. That's your Wolverine frog. What do you guys think? That is the end of my Animal Kingdom stream.
Oh.
Can I ask a question?
Damn, that was crazy. That was actually crazy. Those were funny. Those were good. I do love Maya. So this one is The Unspeakable Horrors of the Deep Sea. Feat Lindsay Nicole. I love Lindsay Nicole. That's why I chose this video. So
You've probably heard me say that I'd rather eat 10 pounds of Popeye's biscuits with no drink than ever go out into the ocean. Well, I'd rather ride cross-country on a bike with a hot grill for a seat than spend half a second in the deep sea. There's a lot of living nightmares of paralysis demons come to life if you sink deep enough. And the Megalodon is not one of them. You'll often hear this thing about how the prehistoric apex predator never got discontinued. It's just chilling a step above hell in the abyss. This is cap for actually three good reasons. One, there just isn't enough food to sustain a 60-foot you to the natural order. Two, if nature did keep the same jumbo jaws that peaked in the Pliocene, we at least would have seen a body by now. And number three, why do y'all want this to be alive so bad? I promise you there's way worse things down there. Like, I would evacuate my bowels if I ever saw a giga great white shark. They'll put me in front of a T-posing squid and I'm shooting more bricks than the entire city of Newark. The big fin squid is easily one of the most disturbing things alive as I'm saying this. It's a T-posing predator with arms estimated to max out at just under 30 feet.
I remember
Scientists
when
believe the
videos
big
were
fin
going
catches
around
bodies
of that
by dragging
guy.
those arms, which can be easily 20 times its own body length, along the ocean floor like trawling nets and feeding on whatever poor soul accidentally bumps into them. You're gonna hear me say believe or we think a lot, and that's because we don't know a whole lot about them. Almost every sighting and virtually every specimen studied were either juveniles or paralarvae. We have no way of knowing exactly what their final form could look like. For all we know, this could be Junior, and we just haven't seen Mama Big Fin yet. Who would have thought that just putting elbows on a squid would instantly turn it into the spawn of Satan? Oh, and if you thought the Big Fin was just this
That is
slow,
freaky.
passive-floating predator, then you're seriously underestimating the ocean's ability to massacre your mental health. And if you're curious, this video was taken about 7,000 feet down in the Gulf of Mexico. But considering they're believed to be the deepest living squids at about 20,000 feet, I have a theory. This is a juvenile, and the big boys are the ones shacking it up down in the crotch of the ocean. But good news, the big fin probably only feeds on small fish and crustaceans. Bad news, there are squids big enough to beef with the biggest predators on the planet. And the biggest predator on the planet that isn't a disgraced former YouTuber is the sperm whale. Which on its own would have to be one of the most traumatizing things to witness during their 2-hour hunting expeditions down in the deep sea. Well, the tankiest carnivore on Earth regularly runs fades with the giant squid. And by giant, we're talking about calamari growing to an estimated 40 feet long. Not only are they themselves predators that hunt using 20-foot tentacles, they're opportunistic cannibals that would 100% murk their entire family reunion for some calories. Now, nature high-key screwed up their character design. They have a donut-shaped brain and an esophagus running through it, meaning if they swallow something big enough, not only do they run the risk of choking to a flatline, they can also factory reset their entire personality through severe brain damage.
Damn.
Which is why they mitigate this by shredding their victims with a razor-sharp beak and what is essentially a tongue with teeth, the radula. That beak is such a weapon that you'll rarely see a sperm whale that hasn't been tattooed during a struggle with a giant squid.
Wow.
And while the plus-size cephalopod usually loses
That's
in a war with a
crazy.
whale, they do not make it easy. But the most disturbing thing about them is that eye. Giant squids have the most physically imposing eyes, with them being roughly the size of a soccer ball. Contrary
He's
to
so
popular
cute,
belief, huge
though.
eyes don't exactly help it see further, but it does mean they're terrifyingly good at noticing objects giving off their own light, which is a lifesaver since when their biggest
See,
sperm whale
that's
is on the hunt,
another thing. Like I was saying about the monkeys having upturned noses because they're higher elevation, so they need more oxygen. The same way the squids have giant eyes, it isn't necessarily to see better. Well, not that it lets them see further, but because there's no light, they need more surface to capture the light that does semi-exist deep down, so they can somewhat see. They just need more surface area for their eyes to be able to see better, because it's so dark. There's like barely to no light down there. So
modern-day Leviathan disturbs
I'm
glowing
pretty
creatures
sure
like
anyways.
jellyfish and crustaceans who flash in response. Having eyes as big as their heads means the giant squid can detect and use those flashes to avoid becoming a corpse. But that also means that if you ever go swimming in the Giga Squid's area code, the flashes you'd create mean that while you might not see it, the same animal that does its own would know exactly where you are. And honestly, there's only one thing that could be worse than getting stalked by a school bus-sized headfoot. There's another squid with hunting tactics so spiritually upsetting, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and use a lifeline.
The Humboldt squid, also known as the red devil. I'm Lindsay, by the way. Hi. Humboldt squid are found in the eastern Pacific Ocean, typically between 600 to 2,300 feet below the surface of the ocean. And their nickname comes from the way they use their pigment cells called chromatophores to communicate. You're probably familiar with chromatophores through videos of different cephalopods using them to change color, blending into their surroundings, and even dreaming. And Humboldt squid notably use them to turn bright red when they're aggravated, hence the nickname Red Devil. It's very on brand. They're also extremely predatory and have been known to act aggressively towards scuba divers on rare occasion, which becomes a bit more terrifying when I tell you that they can get to 8 feet long and 100 pounds. Now you might be thinking, that is not that big. What about the giant squid and the colossal squid that can both get to like 40 feet long? Well, I haven't told you the best part yet. The Humboldt squid is known to live and hunt in groups of up to 10, no, up to 100, no, 1,000, yes, in groups of over 1,000. 1,000 squid. That's about
1,000. Imagine 1,000 8-foot squid coming after you. Hell no.
Allowing them to take down larger prey, dragging them into the depths until they go unconscious. Scientists have identified some of these communication patterns, as you can see in this little chart, but still don't know exactly what any of them mean. But regardless, that sounds like one of the worst ways to be unalived in the ocean. Oh wait, this isn't a TikTok collaboration. That sounds like one of the worst ways to die in the ocean.
So as you can see, whether it's being confronted by a Humboldt block party or squaring up with a live-action Kraken, there are many aspects of the deep sea that end up with you putting your therapist up a tax bracket. And a lot of that's because of this cute little thing known as deep sea gigantism. The idea that the cold temperature, the dissolved oxygen,
we did see a video like this earlier.
Allow some animals to escalate to the biggest
I might skip this one.
of themselves. Exhibit A, the Japanese spider crab, which can measure 12 feet across from claw to claw and weigh as much as a human
Okay,
toddler.
this one is just a 3-minute video on wildlife conservation.
Urbanization, climate change, illegal wildlife trade, and the invasion of alien species are increasingly threatening the lifespan of wildlife species. Wildlife conservation is not only about the survival of plant and animal species, but also educating people on living harmoniously with wild species and their habitats. Wildlife conservation can be further broken down into in situ and ex situ conservation. The once endangered Singapore native Oriental hornbill saw hope with the Singapore Hornbill Project. The installation of artificial nest boxes provided a safe environment for breeding. The hornbill has since returned to significant numbers.
Yay!
In Singapore, places such as our zoo, the botanical gardens, and seed banks protect local wildlife outside of their natural habitats. Did you know that Singapore has 5 guiding principles to support wildlife conservation? For wildlife to thrive in Singapore, safeguarding our biodiversity is fundamental. Singapore's nature corridors connect our green spaces for wildlife to thrive in forested patches, parks, tree and shrub-lined routes. These corridors act as a safe highway for wildlife to intermingle and live in their natural habitats. Singapore also recognizes the importance of policy in wildlife conservation. The Saving Chip
I didn't
Jawa
realize this was
initiative
specified to
successfully
Singapore.
stopped efforts on land reclamation over one of Singapore's last few remaining estuarine ecosystems, which are home to diverse wildlife. The continued study of our natural environment also plays a pivotal role in wildlife conservation. Besides education, promoting volunteerism in conservation efforts bolsters protection of Singapore's wildlife. The final key to advancing wildlife conservation efforts is to engage all stakeholders, both local and international, in a comprehensive partnership. Singapore is home to diverse wildlife, including critically endangered species. By protecting our natural heritage and ecosystems, we are ensuring a greener world for our future generations.
Hi, Nobby. Welcome in,
Animals such
Nobster.
as buzzards, pheasants, badgers, snakes, foxes and toenails
How are you?
are flocking to a small pond I built. As this spring has been the driest on record, water has vanished from the usual places and survival is
Animal videos! Yeah.
few years ago,
We watched a couple goodies.
Small by some standards, but ideal for the many creatures that visit it.
So he's making a pond for
Especially in
conservation.
times of drought.
I'm good, but also
In a
mad.
secluded
Yeah.
spot in an ash woodland.
Ugh, did you have a good day
I
at
set up
least?
some cameras to capture the daily comings and goings. I got some rare visitors like the Eurasian goshawk coming to bathe.
Yeah.
My pond is one of the few permanent water sources in the area, and the animals flock in their droves to drink.
Aww. See, I want to, Oh, you watched FNAF 2? It was pretty alright. Did you see the first one? Did you like the first one? There, apparently, mowing your lawn is actually really bad, for the, like, I guess for the ecosystem. And there's this one girl that I was watching who she didn't mow her lawn, and she got a sign put up in her yard to state that it was like a protected area, to say, because like you're promoting like growth of natural like flora, and like which helps the native ecosystem. Which I would love to do in my house. I don't necessarily want to mow my lawn, but we'll see. There was one moment at the end that just came out of nowhere and didn't make sense. I don't remember the first one, to be honest. Oh, I hated the first one. I don't know if I'll see the second one, to be honest, but I did not like the first one. I remember that much. Oh, look at him. Yeah, get in there, Ow.
Regular visitors like woodpeckers, buzzards.
Oh, that sticky would have tumbled in. Oh, duckies.
And at night we see hedgehogs, badgers, and roe deer. Many animals come here to bathe, like wrens, blackbirds, and these pigeons.
Oh, look at them. They're like, yeah, that's the shit right there. Yeah, get a
Birds
bath.
get most of their water from the food they eat. But bathing's essential to keep the feathers in good condition and free from parasites.
Yeah, oh, look at him. Yeah, he's scrubbing
Some
it
animals
up.
bring their young to the pond, like these pigeons.
Saying mowing your lawn is bad for the ecosystem is like saying deforestation is bad for the ecosystem. Of course it's bad. It just makes life more convenient. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know, though. I didn't know that. And I also heard that raking your leaves is also really bad, too. You shouldn't rake your leaves. You should just leave them.
Well, they're just passing by, like this fox and these deer. Some take the opportunity to have a cooling swim and have some fun, like this stoat.
No. Bless. It'd be pretty cool, though? Yeah, I think so. I would love to.
With so many animals flocking to the pond, predators follow.
Ooh.
Life gets played out here in all of its beauty and pain. My cameras capture some incredible behavior.
Whoa.
Like this sparrowhawk who seizes its prey before drowning it.
What the fuck?
This toenail almost catches a rat who had a lucky escape.
Oh, whoa.
Nature can be harsh, but these predators have young mouths
Damn.
to feed too.
That will also invite some possibly unwanted guests like snakes and spiders and rodents. Not doing your lawn. I mean, that is true.
Adopted by nature.
I guess it's the importance of like it's the importance of letting it grow, but probably keeping it keeping it kept though. Like I wouldn't just, I mean personally, I wouldn't just let it grow and then never look at it again, you know. I would still probably keep an eye out. And I guess especially in Australia, it's probably different. The girl that I saw do it, she lives in America, so it's like they do get snakes and stuff there, but obviously not as much as we do here, and especially where I live too. Like I'm in the middle between like being full suburbs and country, so there is access to a lot of things to get into the yard. Well, at least where I live currently at my mum's house, but yeah, I don't know how that'd work. I guess you just gotta play it by ear, really. Oh.
The pond is no longer new. It's now embedded in the landscape. The wildlife has come to rely on what it offers.
That's cool.
In times of dry spells, when ponds have disappeared and streams are running dry, this pond endures. Without it, these creatures would face a far harder start to summer. With it, they have a chance. This is a place for wildlife, but also a reminder to us all that the environment and those that live in it are precious.
Damn, why did that always make me cry? I'm in civilization, but also have a lot of bush around, so wildlife is everywhere here. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of the same, and especially now because like we used to be a lot more. I wouldn't say we were a lot more rural, but like for example, across the road from me, used to be fields, and now it's developments. So they've slowly over the years pushed out developments like further and further out. So now we're a lot more surrounded by developments than we used to be, but we're still quite in that middle area. It's kind of like we're on the outskirts of suburbia, I would say, because the next like quote unquote town, you kind of have to drive like 10 minutes through nothing to get to the next town, which isn't a lot, but it's just to show that it isn't just all developments from here to there. You like, if you want to go to the next place, you do have to drive just through a bunch of nothingness to get there, and then from there it's another bunch of nothingness to get somewhere else, and then you're a lot more country than you are suburbia. Not a lot of snakes where I live, well, no big ones at least. We still have garden snakes. Yeah, well, I mean, for example, like, we've had brown snakes in my yard, so my dog, our old dog, she killed a brown snake. So, she killed a brown snake and a blue-tongue lizard, which I think are both endangered, or, like, at least I don't think they're supposed to be killed, but they were. It wasn't us, it was our dog. Like, our dog did it. We couldn't have stopped her because she did it when we weren't even there. I remember with the lizard, I think with both of them actually, we just went outside and it was on the ground dead. And we were like, well, that was our dog. Okay. I mean, she's protecting us, I suppose, so that's good, but also not good for the animals. Okay, so this next one is only 5 minutes as well. This is captive breeding, a key to stop extinction, ?
This is the frog ark in Panama. Some species here only exist in captivity. In the wild, they're already extinct. Around the world, labs like this are breeding endangered species that might not survive on their own. For some of our planet's rarest species, captive breeding may be their best shot for survival. Here in the Ark, amphibians are being kept safe from a disease called chytrid, which is wiping out wild populations. For these species to survive, they need to rebuild their numbers. Fast. But that's not always easy in captivity. Many animals rely on external signals, like seasons, temperature, and humidity, to cue their reproductive cycles. These cues trigger the release of hormones, which themselves trigger the production of eggs and sperm. Animals in
I have that same, oh, I just hit my mic. I have that same Tupperware container in my cupboard.
Often need help kickstarting the process. For that, scientists turn to assisted reproduction.
We're altering their physiology at some point and their hormonal cycles. They don't have the correct cues for their brains to react and say, okay, this is a reproductive cue, let's go and breed. Here's where arts or assisted reproductive technology come in place.
The first step is hormonal stimulation, using a cocktail of hormones to encourage the production of sex cells. It took years for DAY2 and her team to perfect the recipe. Once injected and producing sex cells, some species can be left to mate on their own.
The second option is artificial fertilization.
This approach is a faster way to produce more offspring. And there's another important benefit. The scientists get to decide which female's eggs are fertilized by which male's sperm. That's critical when breeding small populations, because it can help preserve genetic diversity.
No, there isn't a frog in my Tupperware container. That is the only
In the wild,
downside.
large populations can mix and mingle, leading to lots of healthy genetic variability. In smaller, fragmented, or captive populations, the gene pool may become bottlenecked. That means a higher chance of inbreeding, which results in less genetic diversity over time, and a greater risk of disease or harmful mutations. Captive breeding programs go to great lengths to avoid genetic bottlenecks. Many of them are centered
Is
in
that what
zoos,
you
which work
gave your
together
animals
to
in
build
Planet?
robust,
Is that
diverse
what you gave your
populations.
animals in Planet Zoo?
One shining example is the
Wait,
golden
what did I
lion
give them?
tamarin. In the 1970s, wild golden lion tamarin numbers in Brazil dropped to only 200 individuals due to poaching and deforestation. The collapse spurred a program across 150 zoos worldwide to breed more tamarins in captivity. At first, breeding tamarins was a challenge until the Smithsonian National Zoo compiled some basic research on how tamarins feed, socialize, and mate. The techniques allowed all the zoos to keep their tamarins healthy, but in order to prevent populations from inbreeding, they had to strategically pair mates between institutions. For the tamarins, and many other species, zoos use stud books to keep track of every captive animal's genetic
The
lineage.
sex cell shot?
They mix and match
Oh,
between zoos,
no.
ensuring that mating
But
pairs
I
pass
did
on
have
as
to
much
actually,
variation
I
as
did
possible.
I did give a bunch of my animals contraception because they were just breeding so quickly. And I have so many exhibits now where it's like bugs and stuff, so they breed a lot. And then I kept having while I was playing offline, I kept having protesters coming because they were sad because their population was too high. But I was like in the middle of something and they were just breeding non-stop. So I gave a bunch of them contraception. I was #1 listener for my favorite artist. Yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
The Golden Lion Tamarin Project was a massive success. By 1984, zoos began releasing healthy, captive-born tamarins back into the forests of Brazil. By 2014, the wild population had grown to almost 4,000, all thanks to the zoo's strategic captive breeding programs.
That's good.
Around the world today, there are hundreds of other endangered plant and animal species being
And that's
bred in
why
captivity.
I am for this as long as the end goal is to release them in the end, like, because what's the point in keeping a species alive if their life is going to just be in a container, you know? I know there was a video I watched again in Brazil for the Amazon. They're like, I think they're the dugongs. They're like dugongs that live in the Amazon River, and they have this like facility in Brazil to help repopulate them because they do live in the rivers and they're fucking massive, and they're slow and they are grazers. They tend to get hit by boats a lot when people who are using the rivers for transportation, I suppose. They get hit by the boats and they end up getting injured or dying, and it's been affecting their numbers because of this. So I know there was one, they were doing conservation there, and they were making a point to, like, not interact with them, not give them any human interaction, don't make them attached to people, keep them as wild as possible. Just finished work, oh, it's snowing like crazy. Oh, I wish I could see. I want to see snow so bad. I know that if you're someone who lives in the snow, it's probably not great, but I want to see snow so bad.
These populations are often their wild counterparts' greatest protection against disease, habitat loss, and other threats. They also give scientists the chance to study behaviors and genetics in controlled settings and to prepare for responsible releases into the wild.
Yeah!
The next time you visit a zoo or aquarium, ask if they're involved in any captive breeding programs. It's a great way to learn about the important role zoos play in conservation and the scientific work that makes it all possible.
Nice.
Explore these stories and many more from Wild Hope by visiting wildhope.tv or watch the full collection now right here on PBS Nature on YouTube.
Okay. Next one, 60 extinct animals caught alive on camera. We'll see if this is another one of those freaking AI videos. There's so many AI videos nowadays, I hate it.
Many creatures have come and gone over this planet's lifespan. But what happens when one of these animals returns from extinction? From Jurassic birds found flying millions of years after extinction to ancient
That's
sharks on
surely
the
not
ocean
real.
floor, 60 animals fought against all odds and were caught alive on camera.
That dinosaur's
The
not real.
black-naped pheasant pigeon went extinct over 140 years ago. But in 2022, researchers got a whiff of a potential sighting at Ferguson Island in Papua New Guinea.
It's another AI voice. Oh my god, really? I hate this shit, man. I hate it.
An expedition was sent to the island to find the fabled bird, and lo and behold, they did it. The black-naped pheasant pigeon was officially back from extinction.
I think I've seen this video because the guy starts crying, I think. Or maybe that was a different video.
Pterosaurs lived alongside dinosaurs and went extinct over 65 million years ago. Yet in 2022, reports started floating about a potential sighting near Idaho.
Idaho? That's
The person recording
real.
couldn't believe his eyes. An ancient flying creature in the flesh, flying right above him. What made this believable was that it looked nothing like any other bird.
Why does it do that?
In April 2015,
It's so annoying. Tell me about it.
Dr. Steve Murphy
I try to
went on
like
the hunt for a bird.
one of the things I like to do when I'm working is I put on like crime or scary audios and things like that. And because, you know, I grew up when I was in high school, I listened to Corpse Husband before he was Corpse, when he was only doing scary audios, when it was legit people like Bee Buster and all those people who like did it just fucking front flip. It like went to do a front flip and then it reared back up. Like I used to watch that stuff like 10 years ago. I was watching that. I have been watching that stuff for like 10 years now. Like that has always been my go-to for background noise. So it's really frustrating now trying to find a new channel. And the issue is, right, is that these people, they have 500 and something thousand. You always know it's AI because there'll be a channel with under 100. And it's just like, do people not notice, or do they just not care? Because we shouldn't be feeding or giving them the view, you know what I mean? Do you know what's so funny? I didn't tell you guys this, but for my editing business, I'll see if I can find it actually. Oh, I shouldn't show my emails, but for my editing business, one of the people I was like working with, they were struggling to send me their VOD, so I decided to use Dropbox, and I signed up to Dropbox, and there was something I was trying. I decided, well, since that person, everybody has been fine sending me their VODs, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use Dropbox anymore. Like, I'm done with the free trial. I want to remove them from my Dropbox thing. I was looking up like how to remove, like, because like with Dropbox you have to invite people onto your team, quote unquote, and you can share files. And initially I was gonna remove them because I was like, so that I could add more people, because I didn't like add some like a new client because I didn't want, because if they're in your team they can see everything, and obviously you don't want them seeing other people's stuff. So I was trying to figure out how to get rid of them. Here, I'll go into my just chatting screen. I was trying to figure out how to remove them from my Dropbox, right? And I'll see if I still have the email. There's a high possibility I deleted it, but oh, here we go. Okay, let me see. Oh, yes, here we go. So, wait, hold on. I want to find what I actually wrote, but basically, I was looking on their website for help on how to do this thing, and I didn't realize at the time, but I don't know about you guys, but when I'm looking for stuff, I'm just gonna read, right? So I was going through their website, and I was like reading all the information, and I come across a bunch of text that sounds like fucking ChatGPT or some AI bullshit. And immediately I emailed their support team, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Why are you using AI to write your website like that? Like, I expect more from you guys, like, because I've heard a lot about Dropbox and a lot of people use it, and I was like, surely you wouldn't be using AI to write your articles. Like, I was just looking for help. And then I got back, a support team member like wrote back, and they were just like, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I had realized that the text I was reading was actually a transcript of a video that I didn't even bother to play, because I'm not gonna wait around to listen to some weirdo talk to me. I'm just gonna read the article. So the article was actually just a transcript of the video, but I said to them, I was like, not everybody watches the video, so if someone comes in to read your transcript, it just sounds super unprofessional. I'll read you parts of the transcript. This is why I thought I wish I could find what I wrote. I can find the transcript, but not my not my message to them. Like, yeah, because one of the people was like, can you tell me please where you came across this answer? And then basically, so here, this is what it says. So I'm trying to find like a specific let's see. Like, okay. Like, because it was a guy talking, he's saying, so logged into the admin console as an administrator for my Dropbox team, and I'm gonna search for that particular user that I want to remove from the team, and you can see them here, individual freelancer account. Like, that's not a sentence. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what the guy literally said in the video. So that is the transcript. And he's like, so I'm gonna go ahead and click that, and that's what's gonna do, and what that's gonna do is tell me, okay, this is what's gonna actually happen. It's gonna be disconnected by the team, and it legit says gonna, like, I'm gonna do this, not I'm going to do this, which is what you would write in an article. It's gonna be disconnected from the team, you know, and it was just a lot of like slang and weird verbiage, and so I instantly thought it was AI, and I am now that I don't know, I'm so quick to shut stuff down nowadays, like with the emails, and I'll comment on videos like this, and I'll be like why using AI? Just talk, like, just why I don't get it. Like, it's just I know people do it for quick buck because it's easy to make, and you know, you can get quick money, but it's just so gross. It's so gross, dude. It really is.
Hadn't been seen in 100 years. The night parrot.
The night parrot? Why'd you try to hold it? I wonder if it's fucking extinct. You got idiots like this guy grabbing it.
The night parrot is one of the 3 species of ground parrots. And after studying it, Dr. Murphy not only captured it, but also released it back into the wild.
Why?
White bison, especially ones without albinism, are some of the rarest animals on the planet. So much so that there's only one for 1 million normal bison.
Okay. That's what I have in my zoo.
But in 2023, people at Wyoming State Park witnessed not one but two of them grazing together. Albino alligators are already rare, but this one is even rarer because it's white without albinism. Instead, this beast gets its color because of a genetic condition that gives them blue eyes.
I wonder if I can get her getting to stand up. Let's see if you'll stand up. You sit right there, almost kind of step across. You want me to still stay like this? Yeah, you stay right there. Okay.
What makes this big guy special, though, is that there are only 2 other blue-eyed white alligators in the world.
That's the sound that you'll hear when they're mad. And, nice. Yeah, and when they do that, I know you stay right there.
The following footage comes from Cowfie-Mas Park.
What is
in
that
Bolivia,
little guy?
Where tourists stumbled upon something truly mind-blowing: 2 Chicoan peccaries.
What a little guy. Look at him.
It's easy to mistake it for a wild hog, but the Chicoan peccary is one of the rarest mammals on the planet. So you'd be lucky to see 1 or 2 in your lifetime.
Oh, he is strutting his stuff. Yeah, look at him. Look at those dainty tootsies.
The mottled bichir is a fish found in the central basin of the Congo River. While they
Being
may
sold
not
for
be
$5,000.
super rare
Great.
in their natural form, this one is most certainly.
Wow. Super rare.
What you're witnessing is one of the rarest fish, possibly the only albino mottled bichir in the world, which makes its situation in a pet shop that much sadder. Named after the German zoologist Alfred Volzkow, the Volzkow's chameleon was last seen over 100 years ago. But in 2018, everything changed.
Specimen of the lost species Versifer volzkovi. He first found a female. Females of the species had never been seen before.
Not only did scientists rediscover the long-forgotten chameleon, but they also managed to find a female specimen that had never been spotted before, even when they were initially discovered.
Oh, he's wobbling.
In 2020, lobster fisherman A.J. Francis caught an albino lobster in Pictou Landing, Nova Scotia, one of the rarest things you could catch.
What lobster fisher A.J. Francis discovered was a 1 in 100 million albino lobster.
These lobsters get their color because of a genetic condition, and they're so rare that if you caught 1 million, you'd only get 1 albino lobster in the pile.
I'm over listening to his AI voice. I struggle to make these videos. I love that I'm raising money for this charity because I really do care so much about the planet and the animals. And as much as I want to like learn about these animals, it just makes me so fucking sad. Like, it's making me so depressed. I'm low-key getting depressed watching these because it's just like... Yeah, the video went from extinct to rare animals very quickly. I saw a Triceratops family taking baths in my pool one morning. They look really cool, especially the ones with albinism. What kind of food should I leave out to make them come back? Thanks. Imagine how pumped barn owls were when barns were invented. Hi, Aaron. I raised a solid black lynx. She's an animal sanctuary now. She's beautiful. It's worrying, all the ancient creatures coming out at once as nobody actually realizing what's happening. Yeah. The pterosaur sure looked real, especially when it bent upside down to view behind him for a potential predator chasing it. Aside from it, I don't see any supposedly extinct ones. It was not looking behind it. Literally making this AI voice for the video probably killed a whole species. Literally. But it's yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like I've always been, hi Lasang, welcome in. I've always been the type of person to like observe from afar. I've had friends and people in the past in my life be like I remember sending videos to this person one day. Like when I went on to an Airbnb, I was like showing them pictures of kangaroos, and they were like, oh, like I'd love to go down there and pat them. I was like, why? Why? Like, just, why as a human species do we feel the need to touch everything? Touch everything, capture everything, claim everything, own everything. I was like, why can't we just sit back and enjoy nature? Like, can you imagine a world where we never hunted animals and we all just coexisted without issue? Like, ugh. I don't know, man. Ugh, this shit just like bothers me beyond belief. Alright, we're gonna go to the next one. The next one is a funny one. It's Bigfoot, June 23, 2022. Bigfoot sighting. I don't actually know what this is, so it could be a meme, but I thought it was funny to add a Bigfoot video. Anybody see Bigfoot? He sees Bigfoot! Oh, there's someone there. There's probably a fucking person. It's probably a person. You watched it already? No, I didn't. It's just because when you're on the like, how do I explain it? When you're on the YouTube feed, the YouTube, not the feed. When you're searching for a video, I was hovering over them to see like what it showed up, and like obviously to hover over it to get the icon to add to playlist. So as I was doing that, it just played through the video like that way, but I didn't actually see it. Is that what is he holding? A giant bat? That was the Bigfoot sighting? Did you guys even see it? It's over here. You see a head. I remember. Yeah, there. Right here. Right here. You ready? Watch Bigfoot. Oh, I didn't go back enough. Oh, God. Bigfoot. Right here. Bigfoot. Crazy. Did you guys see Bigfoot? Did you see him? He's real. Alright, next video. This one is 50 of the craziest trail camera videos of 2024. Oh, he's peeing on a bush. Oh, this is crazy. Gray fox sitting on a log. That's crazy. Only one opossum clip this year. Oh. Turkey. Ooh. Oh, he must have had like a dust bath. Nah. So something passed by. It was probably just a hiker, honestly. Only Skunk Cliff? Aw, look at him. Bear sniffs camera. Cute. Oh, they're flying. He just stepped on him. Oh my god. Lots of turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Takes 10-foot jump? Damn. That didn't look like 10 feet. 3-legged raccoon? Aw, poor little guy. Well, happy Halloween. Maybe pregnant? She does look chunky. Three nice books. Oh, look at them. They're just having a good time. Being lads. Doing what lads do best. Just hanging out. Hanging out with the boys. I thought that was a fucking monkey. You got a squirrel. He's on a mission. He might have broke it fighting. Whoa, what the fuck was that? I totally missed that. Okay, I was chasing a deer. Wait, I'm gonna go back. I totally missed that. Aw, you barely saw it anyways. Whee! Down. Something's made him mad. Oh. Buck plays with Fox. It's Bambi! Yeah, that's just what happened to Bambi. They're chasing the turkey? What the heck? What'd the turkey do? Yeah, you want some of this? Look at him! Oh yeah, he's trying. He's going for it. Bobcats, rare from my area. Bear! Oh, he likes the apple. What a good boy. Oh yeah. He is digging in. Oh my god, they're so cute. I wonder what they're talking about. Whoa! Look at that carcass. What is that? Ew. What do you guys reckon that is? That's big. That looks like a bear. That fur. Like hold on. Look, watch him lift it. It doesn't look like it. Like, it looks thick. And brown. You know what I mean? Like, brown fur. Is that a dead bear? Damn. What the heck? Well, that is all the videos on my list. Wait, what? No Bigfoot, no Dogman, no orb? These videos can't be real. Oh, they replied. The government said I can't post those clips. Too small? I mean, it could have been a baby, like a little bear. That's pretty big. I don't know what other animal it could have been. It doesn't look like the color of a deer. It could have been a young bear. Two bears fighting, and it could have just laid down and died. Or maybe like a big bear ate the little bear. Everybody loves the eagle. Everyone's like, love the eagle. Wow. Well, that is all the videos I had for today, so I suppose that will be all for today. Thank you all for being here. Of course, I had a great time. Thank you, Super, for sending in your video. That was a lovely video to start us off with today. We watched a lot of good stuff. We watched a whole bunch about insects, mammals, aquatic animals, all the fun stuff. It was really, really good. Yeah, I'm feeling really tired, so. Oh, God. I'll be probably getting some rest here. I've been staying up really late and waking up early because I've had stuff to do, so I'm gonna try and get an early night tonight. But I am gonna be live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Overwatch, but I don't have it downloaded and I don't really have the space, so I will have to see. Any animal videos are always a vibe. Yeah, it was so fun. It was good. They were really good, and I love watching this type of stuff. I love learning about animals and things. Yeah, I don't have Overwatch downloaded, and I don't have Gotta Beat the Heat. Yeah, I don't have Overwatch downloaded, and I don't really have space. So tomorrow may not be a stream if I can't get it downloaded in time, and then I may have to see what I can do to get it downloaded and go live another day. But I will. Can I be Monster Hunter instead? We could do some Monty Hunter. I can play Monty Hunter for a little bit. I did play a little bit more offline, but not a hell of a lot. Oh, and it's been a while since I played, so I kind of forget the controls. But we can play, I guess we could play Monty Hunter tomorrow, too. Yeah, it'll probably be another late start because I do have editing to get done, and just because I'll be streaming a lot this month. I'm a little bit nervous for it, to be honest. It's been a while since I've been live so much, but you know, gotta go out with a bang. So we will be doing a lot of fun stuff this month. But yeah, thank you all for being here. As always, make sure to check out the link in the description to donate to the charity, or there is a QR code in the bottom corner you can scan to donate to the charity as well. It will be live all month. I will contribute at the end of the month my own contribution to the charity as well. Also, if you would like to get me a Throne gift, the Throne link is in the description as well. You can get me a Throne gift, and I'll be unboxing those on Christmas Day along with our Pokemon card opening stream, which brother opened cards already. He opened some cards, the sneaky devil, and the best card he was able to pull, he opened 5 packs, and the best card he got was it was like a card that was worth like $15 or something, but it was a misprint. It was a misprint, so hopefully when I do the pulls, when we get to open the cards, we'll be able to get some good ones. I'm really hoping we will. He was saying that you can get, I forget what it's called, what he called it, but apparently you can get cards where it's like, they're all good. Like a god pack kind of thing. So maybe we'll get one of those. That would be 1 in a million, but that'd be fucking cool. That'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, that is gonna be, oh! No, I'll tell you guys next stream. I need to go to bed. I was about to say something, but I'm like, no, I won't. I'll save it for later. No, I'll save it for later. Sorry, I have a look popping in my head. This is why I can't sleep, because I have 20,000 things in my head. I will talk to you guys about this in the next stream. I will remember what I was going to say. And if I don't remember, you guys, next stream, say, Cowfie, do you remember what you were going to tell us? And then hopefully I'll remember, okay? That would be epic, I know, right? Hopefully we get some good cards, but that will be Christmas Day. Also, I think one of the streams might have to change, but I need to double check because the family is doing Christmas, not on Christmas Day, but I can't remember what day we're doing it on, so I'll have to see. But yeah, anyways, bye guys, good night, thank you for being here, and I will see you guys tomorrow, most likely, if I don't decide to randomly cancel, but I promise I won't. I'm a good girl. Alright, bye guys, good night.